Hello everyone, we Sonic the Hedgehog Gamer here with,
Hi, Strawbertoons.
and we're back with Gen 4 of Lily's Retrospective. Before we start, there's no starter here.
Oh boy. If sorry, this is one of the good generations. If she says a single fucking word about the starters, I'm gonna flip.
Yeah, no, I would have stopped the recording and I mentioned, oh by the way, did you notice something? And pointed at the fact there's no
Yeah.
starter. And then the response was just, no, no, no.
If this were anybody else, I would try to have a little patience because you can absolutely abandon your starter in the sense that like you can go for others if you must. But this is A, Lily, and B, one of the few games where there is no wrong choice for a starter, and honestly one of the most elegant handlings of the starters in the entire series.
Seriously,
There
Gen
are
4 is
better
very, like, 3 out of 3 for the Pokemon.
Yeah, there were better Pokemon by performance standards in later games, but in terms of making starters that are here to be starters, this is the game that gets everything perfectly done. I'll try to get more into it if she says a singular fucking word about dumping a starter because all starters. I'm guessing here, but we have a track record now. We can base it off of what we've seen.
I'm gonna be
Then
honest,
again, we also
be
yeah.
interesting. This is gonna be entertaining for me.
Yeah, I will say up till now, well, rather, we haven't seen her say anything about the starters, which is itself infuriating. I would love to yap about one of my favorite parts of Pokemon in general, but she refuses to talk about it, so it'd be incredibly off topic. To the point, I may even ask just to have a separate segment just to rant about starters, but this isn't my channel. I can't do much.
I feel like it'll largely be unrelated. Like, I would gladly host that video for you, but that's not what this is about.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yes,
Gen
before we begin
4. The
fully.
move to
Oh, right. I genuinely forgot. Thank you for reminding me.
Oh,
Uh,
that too. Sorry. Before we do that, I just want to add to all the people watching this video, you may want to pay attention to how much of that team is certain kinds of Pokemon. We're gonna
yeah.
have a lot of fun here. Oh, and boy.
Yeah. Anyways, one thing I want to
Anyways.
go mention is, my experience. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl only.
Oh, right. Yeah, ouch. I know you've been keeping telling me that. I keep forgetting because this is such a fundamental generation. Like, oh my God. Sorry,
Yeah.
this is where I hopped in. This is not where I hit my stride with this game. I was still very baby at the time I was playing this for the first time. But it is the one that started it all. This is the one that locked me in on being Pokemon because of my autism for basically life.
So, yeah.
And
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, and it just does good. It did good at hooking me in on this and being a reliable game.
So, yeah, there's gonna be a lot to talk about, at least from Straub's end here.
Yep.
the Nintendo. Gen 4. The move to the Nintendo DS, a platform that created some of the most beautiful 2D games on the planet, and which way too many devs tried to go 3D on. The Nintendo DS kind of mimicked the 5th generation of
That is
consoles,
true.
where out of
I will say this, that's probably because of Nintendo. Because Nintendo wanted to show off the 3D capabilities of the DS. Because that has not been done on a handheld console before.
Fair.
This was
I
before
also
the
just
PSP.
feel it was. Yeah, I feel it was also just because of the shift to 3D in general. The DS definitely does better when doing 2D stuff. Good games
I
have come
agree.
from it, but not good art styles.
I agree. It's just the unfortunate fact. It's kind of like with the 3DS where Nintendo tried to push for games that can make use of the 3D function. And that really only started dying off midway through the 3DS lifespan.
And the good ones were all the ones that didn't rely on the 3D function in order to do its thing.
Yep. To be fair, you could completely ignore it, but it's like very few could actually capitalize on it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, again, off topic.
almost seeming obligation, sprites went out and first generation polygons went in. Now, for some developers, this wasn't a problem. For all of its faults, 358 over 2 days worked out perfectly as a 3D game on the Nintendo DS, but this is Game Freak we're talking about. Game Freak decided that the best idea was to make all the characters out of 2D sprites, but build the actual map out of 3D geometry, which certainly helped to make the environments look more detailed, but also tormented the DS processor. Combine that with Game Freak's usual poorly optimized code, and the game was locked to 30 FPS. This is a commonly understood issue. The games run unfathomably slowly in movement, battle transitions, health bars. That last one is the only one people actually remember, in fact. And Generation 5 is no better. The games are still slow because they're made out of even more 3D geometry, and this time pixelate like crazy if you move at all. Now, playing the Generation 4...
We're almost at the generation where we talk about this legitimately, so I'll try to keep this brief. Again, not an issue in Gen 5. She's making this up. This is complete lies. It's not an issue in Gen 5. Gen 4 absolutely is. And all the things she said are probably valid. I just didn't only focus on the HP one and the movement one. Where else was I going with this? I don't know. You were trying to say something?
I was gonna say, honestly, from the movement ones, honestly did not look that bad, personally. Like, they're about the movement I expected. The HP bars were the only one that I'm being complained about, because that's really the only one that's a problem.
Yeah. The run speed did change from where it was in Gen 3, but that honestly ultimately ended up as a rebalancing, not a matter of optimization. They probably felt that the run speed was way too sprightly and could have been disorienting for some.
Maybe. Either way, the thing is, this is not that big of a point. It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
Games, I actually applied a small modification to remove the frame rate cap, which means you won't see me complaining about how slow the games are. But it isn't...
Sorry. 30 FPS is not a problem. Stop complaining, like, not her, just in general. Stop complaining like 30 FPS is a problem. It is not a problem. Stop complaining about it.
Genuinely, that one I have to agree with. Like, 30 frames, that is a frame every 2 seconds. That's not that bad, guys. It's really not. That's what most people grew up with.
2 seconds. Sorry.
Well, it's a frame per second.
No, 30 frames per second is a frame every. I'm honestly, I can't do the math either. But
a frame every 2 seconds. Because there's 60 seconds in a minute. Wait, no, I'm confusing myself now. Fuck.
There you go. Now it clicks.
Sorry, I'm a dumb fuck.
Yeah. Well, no, sorry. I forget the exact math of how many frames, or how many there's 30 frames in 1 second, so I guess how many frames it's in a millisecond. I don't remember how that all works. But yeah, it's really not that bad. Everyone was like, oh, but the frames in Smash Bros. Like, no, it plays fine. Y'all are crazy. There are times where it can feel nice to have higher frame rates, but that's about all it is. It feels nice-ish.
Also, not to mention, most games, the reason why the frames are capped, because a lot of how things work are tied to frames specifically. And if you increase the frames of those, guess what? Things are going to fucking break.
Yep.
30 frames has been the norm for years. It really should not be that big of a problem now. When it's under 30, yeah, let's start complaining.
Also, I don't feel like it's an optimization issue, but just like a natural part of the platform to be at 30 frames per second. So applying a mod like this could be really risky.
Well, no, but it's like Sonic Adventure 2. You have to cap that shit. Because if you don't, it's just going to speed so fast the game will just crash. I could not play Sonic Adventure 2 on my fucking PC because of that. So no, frames being capped are intentional.
Yeah.
Don't fucking break it half the time, otherwise you could be breaking something in the code itself. Because some coding is dependent on frames, whether by accident or not. Sorry.
Yeah, and I know we should move on, but I guess one last thing about the experience in this generation is honestly learning the patience of this generation. Just like learning how to slow down your pace. It sucks, but once you get used to it, you just realize that's all you gotta do is get used to it.
Yeah.
notorious problem across the generation. Suffice to say, it is much more playable with these fixes applied. Also, in the interest of transparency, from this generation onto Generation 8, I will either be modifying the starters to include a Ralts or importing one from Pokemon Home, purely for the sake of keeping things interesting for me. The games from this point onward can become a real slog, and I just want my favorite Pokemon to make things a little more bearable. Rest assured.
And
Disgusting.
just like that, the entire retrospective can be thrown into the trash.
Yeah.
Like,
Starters are an integral part of the gameplay, and trying to cheat your favorite Pokemon in is plainly wrong.
also, I just want to point out the fueling Pokemon Valts, and it shows a Piplup.
Well, the mod can only do so much.
I know. I just wanted to point it out because I discovered this and I found that funny. But
Yeah.
no, it's like the speed increase one. I don't care. That one's just for quality of life. Okay, that's fine. This one is fundamentally changing the game. Because now you're not dealing with a Piplup like you're supposed to. You're not following the game's balance. Because, hey, guess what? Starters actually are counted for the journey. And no, now you're just making it 10 times harder for yourself. Because, guess what? Valve doesn't learn confusion by level 5.
Level 5.
It does not learn it by level 5. It learns it at, like, what? Level 8? No, not even 8. I should remember this because it is my favorite Pokemon, but give me a second.
Yeah, in the meantime, I've been thinking of maybe modding Black 2 to include Keldeo as my starter instead of a starter, and even potentially having him start as an egg, so it's even more challenging for the beginning of the game. But this doesn't mean I'm playing the game normally. I am intentionally changing the game to an entirely unique experience which bypasses a lot of things, including I don't know what it takes to trigger the event at that funny rock in the back of that city, but if it is just having Keldeo, then I get early access to that.
No, if I recall, you need at least one of the Swords of Justice.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I think. It's been
what
a
else?
while. I could be wrong on that.
What else was I thinking? Oh, right. To me, the modification itself doesn't throw the retrospective out of the window, but opening with the rest of these games are going to be a slog. Definitely throws this retrospective into the absolute garbage, because opening with, I think this is all bad and sucky from here on out, paints your opinion in such a negative light that you aren't going to find a way to shuffle out of it and find good anymore. And it's just plain incorrect.
Yeah, no, like, this is just front-off admission that I don't like this game series, to me. Because, like, oh yeah, the rest of the game's a slog. Okay, so you only like Gen 1? You only like Gen 3? Is that what I'm hearing? Then why are you doing a retrospective? Yeah. If you don't like the series, why are you doing a retrospective on it?
A mobile YouTuber would have just made a rant video.
Yep. It's like... And it's like, here's the thing. I would not necessarily mind if she did trade herself of Valts. Or make it so that, like, you can catch Valts at a location you're not supposed to. That I'll be fine with. It's the simple fact that's like, yeah, no, I'm hacking it to go and make it so that I can get this Pokemon as my starter. That fucks it up for me. And even then, I probably wouldn't be that okay with the other ones either way.
Also, this is technically triggering my trap card, Yugi. She has talked about the starters. Sort of.
Oh, yeah!
Kind of. In the worst way than I could even expect, because it's not even complaining about them. It's straight up junking them, because apparently your little green boy, well, green girl, obviously, is far more important.
Remember, she's a lesbian, therefore will always be a girl. And always be a baby.
True.
That will grow up into an adult.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You know what? Let's talk about something a little more positive. Let's talk about the Gen 4 starters, because it needs to be said. The reason I love Gen 4...
We don't have time for this. I apologize, but we don't have time for this.
Nuh-uh. You triggered my trap card, Yui. I will make it brief.
I can't. The leashes are already slipping from me.
Yep. It's over. Anyways, to keep it as brief as I can, the 3 starters are not the most overpowered things. They are not the least underpowered things. They all have a great role to provide and do well in it, even if all of them aren't exactly competitively viable. They're in-game viable and in-game beasts. A high attack, high defense Torterra with Earthquake is downright terrifying in a really fun way, because there's ways to counter him. There's ways to get around it. But there's also getting beaten in the face with a giant Torterra with Earthquake. That's awesome. There's Empoleon, who isn't offensively super scary, but is part Steel type and has a great litany of resistances to shrug off a lot of the menagerie. It also has major weaknesses to look out for, but that's Steel type. That's just how it works. Adding that to Water type is honestly genius.
I'm trying to
It
think
just
of what
makes a
it's
solid
weak
all-rounder.
to. The only thing I think of is fighting and maybe electric.
Fighting, ground, electric,
Ground electric.
maybe grass is retained.
No,
But
because
fighting and
steel
ground
was
is still
grass,
very
I
notable.
thought.
I forget. That honestly, I just forget. The point is, steel will always have its weaknesses to be concerned about, and they are very prevalent offensive typings to worry about. But anyways, trying to keep it brief. Infernape. Well, I don't like that it's a mixed attacker. It's also one of the fastest starters we've ever seen. Hard hitting, has
Holy
firefighting, which
shit!
is a good typing. What?
I just looked up Empoleon. Neutral fire, neutral grass, neutral ghost, neutral dark. Weak against electric, weak against fighting, weak against ground, and resists everything else.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up.
Oh, and neutral, yeah, immune to poison, because steel.
Immune to poison. Yeah. Quad resist steel and ice. Okay. So yeah,
Only
fighting,
7
ground, and electric are scary types to be weak against, but resisting 8 typings is pretty sick. 7 because one of them is fairy type, but still.
Yeah, no,
But yeah,
Empoleon
no.
is a defensive beast. The only thing I could make it better if it had higher defense.
Yeah, I personally would love to rebalance Empoleon, but that's a whole different topic. Anyways, and as I said, Infernape would be a solid sweeper. I do think he's a little underpowered in offense, but that is literally it. His great speed means he's always going first. He has great typing to work with. It's just that sometimes he's a little too fragile and doesn't hit hard enough to make a difference. Experience being he struggles in Victory Road particularly, and that sucks because again he's supposed to be good and then he's suddenly bad.
And is also the second fighting type, firefighting Pokemon we got.
Yep, and somehow people had an issue with that. Technically starting with M-Boy, but that's only because it kept happening.
Yeah. With Embo, that's when it was like, okay, this is annoying.
We'll get there.
Anytime I modify the game, I will be telling you when I've done it. The move to full 3D was objectively a bad move.
Wait.
They should
You're
have
gonna
just
keep
evolved
modifying the game?
Yes, but she's gonna be forward with it, so we'll criticize it when it pops up.
Yeah, when it pops up, obviously, but it's like, if you're going to keep modifying off after what you've already done here, that's just so disgusting.
Again, for all we know, it could be like genuine quality of life or things to get around the fact that a online service got taken down and it affects this Pokemon specifically. Like,
I mean, sure, but again, you're making a retrospective of the experience of Pokemon. Changing that experience undoes the validity of your retrospective.
I'm on the opinion of we'll take it by case basis. Because some are more,
Fair enough.
some are worse than others. Like, the routes, like, so speeding things up, that one I don't care too much about. That one's fine. The routes, however, like, that's a bad one. That's the one that should not have been done.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll just take it case by case, and if it's bad, we'll grill you a new one.
Yeah.
2D look, used more detailed sprites and tile sets, not just because it would have been easier on the processor and given better performance, but overall Pokemon just works better in 2D. 2D sprites are brighter and higher contrast, they're more colorful, the 3D models are washed out and gray filtered, and this was something we noticed with Pokemon in Generation 6, but again, like everything, it starts here. But that's enough preemptive whinging, let's get going. This time around we get to name our rival, unlike the last game where
Disagree.
Yeah, no, how do I know you're not pulling up a Gen 4 sprite of Charmander? The washout does not start here.
You know, just for that one, I'm double checking. Like, I would not put it past Lily.
Yeah, basically, the art style's doing just fine. There's some color choices in this game which could be a
his name
little
is here. But that's
drab,
enough
I
preemptive
suppose,
whinging.
compared
Let's
to
get
Gen
going.
3,
This time
but
around we
that's
get
literally it.
Okay, it is. It is Diamond and Pearl Platinum.
And look at him! He's so
so
beautiful!
I do like this one a lot more than this one. I
So,
don't like the
she is
3D.
She is punching at air right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she is saying that the sprites are good. She's just saying that this will eventually be, that this generation eventually caused this to be the one on the right, and yeah, no.
No, Gen 4 did not cause this. Gen 5 did not cause this. What caused this is Pokemon
Gen
Company
6.
saying, yeah, it's not even because Gen 6 exists, it's because Pokemon Company exists, and they decided to poorly handle the idea of, bringing it outside the Pokemon. I don't know. Words are failing me.
It was the fact
Go
that
ahead.
was a jump from sprites to pure 3D that did it in. And then
Yep.
they just never bothered to fix it for several years.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They
the freedom
future-proofed it, in
moments
fact.
Yeah.
We'll get to this in Gen 6.
washed out and gray filtered, and this was something we noticed with Pokemon in Generation 6, but again, like everything, it starts here. But that's enough preemptive whinging, let's get going. This time around we get to name our rival, unlike the last game where his name was fixed and I just had a lot of fun with it. And as I was playing this on stream with a bunch of backseat gamers, I figured the perfect name for this annoying little bastard with his hyperactive squirrel brain was Chat. Your name is Chat. That is who you are now. Anyway, the moment I take one step, Chat rushes up into my bedroom without knocking, little pervert, and insists that if we ask the professor to give us Pokemon, then he definitely will, which is infallible logic, Chat. Truly your mind is a wonder to behold. I follow them outside, and my mother tells me about wild Pokemon in tall grass. Thanks, Mom. I'm not sure my...
Okay, I'm sorry for pausing here, but he's an energetic little kid. The one that canonically has ADHD. Okay, not canonically, but he might as well be.
Yeah, and he's just a kid. He's using childish logic. Like, if we ask really hard and really, really nicely, maybe we'll get the Pokemon we want.
I know, he's right! You would not have gotten the Pokemon if you didn't bother asking. Okay, but I don't remember if that's actually true or not, but it's like, his idea was to ask first. Like,
He's not here to be a genius.
That. Children are taught, if you want something, ask for it. He wants a Pokemon, he's old enough to have one. He's like, hey, Don, let's go ask him. Maybe he'll give us a Pokemon if we ask.
Mm-hmm. And he's acting impulsively. He had this thought and he's gonna run with it.
Yeah, because he's unmedicated ADHD.
Thanks, Mom. I'm not sure my tiny brain could have figured that one out. After getting outside and fixing the rendering engine so I don't know the...
Okay. I should not be this
So you're
pissed
playing
off.
on an emulator.
No, I wasn't even talking about that one. I'm talking about the fact, like, she's like, thanks, Mom, I couldn't figure that out. People need to treat a game as someone's first game. That's what Pokemon Company constantly does. And it is to the dismay of some people, which, fair enough.
Hello.
Yeah, I know to you. But, like, here's the thing. You started in Gen 4.
Yep, this is the first time I learned don't go to the grass while Pokemon be there.
Yes, but what if they didn't have that, and then you were just left off to run around? They don't explain anything about type matchups. They don't explain anything about attacks. They don't even explain...
True.
They just go in like, yeah, no, you played 3 other games. You already know this shit. You know what the new abilities do. And then you just
It's like a
thrown
singular
in.
text box, by the way.
What?
It's a singular text box. She's
Yeah.
complaining over a singular text box.
Yeah, and it's not even that invasive. It's not like the fucking catch tutorials. But it's like, that's the thing, though. It is everyone's... Pokemon treats every game as if someone's first game. Well, Pokemon game. Because whether you like it or not, that is true. And they're trying to be inclusive to those people. And, yeah, no, I just hate logic. I just hate this one. I understand she's supposed to be cheeky,
Text
but it's
box
like...
could have literally just been, goodbye, honey, I love you, have a good day, and that could be the same difference.
Yeah. I'm sorry, it's just, to me, it's just... It's probably because I don't give Lily leeway, because I know what she's like. And that's just someone that you just should not give leeway to. So I'm a lot more harsh on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like... People are not going to know that. Hell, when I played Pokemon Yellow, I knew that. I knew that because I had experience with Pokemon before. Guess what? I couldn't start my journey! Because, hilarious enough, because of this fact, I did not start my journey. This would have actually caused me to not play the game, because I would be like, oh, I don't have a Pokemon. I won't go into the tall grass. Okay, where the fuck do I go? And then I just not necessarily soft by myself, I logic lock myself. Because I'm like, well, I don't have Pokemon. I shouldn't go into the grass. But you need to go to the grass
by knowing where he
to
isn't.
fix it. Like, sorry. I just, sorry.
These ugly black lines everywhere. I join chat out by the grass, and they say they're going to jump over the grass to avoid the Pokemon, something that I naturally encourage because I want to see their face get torn off by a wild beaver. But unfortunately, Rowan has to be a sensible adult and stop them.
I was gonna say stop hating on Barry, but like you're gonna make the whole video about hating on Barry, so like it's kind of just.
Yeah. She named
Whatever,
Barry chat!
Yeah.
So I don't think we're supposed
Which
to
also
be
makes you
seeing that
think
person.
slowly of chat, which itself is very unhealthy.
So I'm not supposed to. I don't know if we're supposed to be seeing that person or not. I assume so.
What?
But I don't know. On the right
But
side
that's just a
of the
random
grass.
person. They're just supposed to be in the grass.
I know, but are we supposed to be seeing them?
Yeah.
Okay. I've not played the Gen 4 games. I've only played the remakes, so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to murder my audience, Rowan. Do you mind? Rowan waffles about how our world would change if we met Pokemon, which I gotta say is a huge departure from Professor Oak. Happy birthday, here's a dragon! Then after 3 pages of dialogue, he gives us a Pokemon. I picked the Ralts I hacked into the game, and chat immediately decided they wanted to battle. Unfortunately, Ralts only knows Growl, so I kinda had to run out the clock on this one. And Growl reduces attack power, so oh god, this took a while. Anyway, after I threw the match,
Maybe you shouldn't have hacked!
Yeah, or at least have hacked in an egg move or something. Oh my goodness.
Literally, couldn't you not just have hacked in a Pokemon into your PC and use Valts there? So that way you could at least swap train effectively?
Mm-hmm. So many better ways to handle this, but nope. She needs her Gardevoir fixation.
Ugh.
we went home.
Yeah.
The next day, my mom gives me some running shoes and chat demands we go to the lake. There we find a strange man waxing poetic about time and space. No doubt a small boy with a duck and a dog will be around shortly to take care of him.
hold on.
And then we immediately
Whole comment about the one dialogue box long thing about tall grass. Nothing about the mandatory running tutorial.
Yep.
about time and space. No doubt a small boy with a duck and a dog will be around shortly to take care of him. And then we immediately leave because the area is tainted with his stink. I take the path.
Okay, I should do a fucking Kingdom Hearts counter at this point. This is what, the third Kingdom Hearts reference and the fourth? I've honestly lost count.
Maybe third? Yeah. You
Like,
could do it in editing.
the thing is, I did not think I was gonna need a Kingdom Hearts count. I didn't bother trying. I have to rewatch the other shit. I have to rewatch it to find it to keep the count accurate.
I was going to be curious about her thoughts on Kingdom Hearts, but she already said it at the start of the video, which is absolutely answered.
She has a video of Kingdom Hearts. I don't want to react to it, but I probably will. Anyways.
Remain strong, we let the hate flow through you.
Darkness!
To Sandgem Town, where Lucas forces me to talk to the professor, and he asked me to name my Ralts, so I named her G. Rowan asked me to record all the Pokemon in Sinnoh, but because I'm just a child, I say no, to which Rowan stares at me uncomfortably for 30 seconds and tells me he's a very patient man and can wait all day. And now I'm suddenly aware of just how close the two of them are. He asks me again, and I say yes, because I want to leave without getting mauled. As I leave, Rowan screams my name and gives me a TM for return. That's okay, he's an old man, his memory is going. After Lucas tells me what a store is, I'm now free to adventure on my own. At least until I get 20 feet north, where Lucas refuses to let me go further until I tell my family where I'm going. So I go and tell my mother that I've been conscripted into taxonomy, and then finally I can move on. Nope! Lucas insists.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop it here just for something off topic. So you're told to go talk to your mother in Crystal, and I genuinely forgot to do that. So when you get to a certain point, your mother just calls you. And I was talking with my friend in VC while I was doing it, and I felt so bad. I did not mean to do that.
Oh, man. Alright. All I can really say about this moment is, like, yeah, like, having to backtrack definitely sucks, but this is far from the most egregious version of what she's worried about.
Yeah.
This is just like the backtrack sucks, but that's it. The rest is truly just regular mandatory Pokemon stuff that really we stopped batting an eye about. Making it optional would be great, but everyone knows that.
Yeah.
That he show me how to catch Pokemon. Are you done? Are you through? Will you leave me alone now? I feel like a small child in a brony convention. He eventually lets me through and I make it to Jubilife where—
Hello there.
Oh, come on! The bastards scrutinize the fact that I haven't caught any Pokemon yet, and then we run into someone from Interpol, because it's not enough that we have cops as the lowest form of human scum, now they've gone global. I'm pretty sure this qualifies as a pandemic. Anyway, the cop tells me his name—
Okay, I was gonna try to ignore it, but do you have any other jokes?
No.
Besides fucking capitalism bad, cops are bad. It's like, I understand. I really do. I am also kind of tired of constantly hearing it from you, considering if the cops were doing the job, you would be in a very different place.
Also, she may be trans, but we do not claim ownership of this creature.
No, we will respect her pronouns and nothing else.
Yep.
name is Looker and gives me a device to record my Pokemon battles with. I'm pretty sure I'm being GPS tracked. When I try to leave Jubilife, Looker stops me and won't let me leave until I visit the trainer school. I'm going to kill this cop. I get there, I give chat their map while they're standing there, spellbound by the chalkboard, and then I leave. So now I can move on to— oh, for the love of— this man tells me to find 3 clowns so he'll give me a watch. I don't want the watch, but I have no choice. After finding the clowns and playing their games, I get the Poketch. This game's answer to the Pokegear and Pokenav. It's terrible and takes up the entire bottom screen, which I did not record. Anyway.
And what about it is terrible per se?
Probably because it... what all does it do again? I'm trying to remember. It keeps track of time. It is also... it can also be upgraded to have the Drowse. What else is there? Drowse, sorry. It has a coin flip app in it. It has a counter app in it.
Calculator, the map,
Calculator.
which also has the berry functionality. You can check the daycare. You can check. You get to see a live thing if you— well, not live thing, but you have the status of your team simplified. You get to see the HP. You can tell if they have a status condition on them. If it updates anytime you go into a loading zone.
Point is that this very thing is very useful, and it's supposed to be essentially all of your tools in one. And yet, she's dissing it probably because she just doesn't like having to be forced to grab it.
Yeah, this thing is leagues better than the Pokegear and Poke whatever the other thing is. Excuse me. Because again, besides, it first off eliminates the phone call, which sadly was not a fun feature. It's a nifty one, but not a fun one. I forget what else the Poke thing from Generation 3 offers, because I didn't really focus on it much, but if so, it probably didn't offer much of note. This offers nice and nifty little tools that you would normally use your phone for nowadays, but this was before the age of phones. Before then, if you needed a calculator, you'd pull up a calculator. If you needed a map, you'd have to, well, open the town map. If you needed to check on your Pokemon's HP and such, you'd need to open the menu. Everything it offers is a slight speed up to having to access it normally, or stuff you need other tools like a calculator to access. Sorry, to add on, and the step counter and tap counter. Those are just things that you can only get out of the Pokewatch, Poketch. How do you pronounce it?
Poketch.
Poketch. Where?
I decided to go pull it up. Digital watch. Calculator. Yep. Memo pad. Pedometer. Pokélist. Friendship checker. Drowsy machine. Berry searcher. Daycare checker. Poke history. Counter. Analog watch. Marking map. Link searcher. So that's how you would do like multiplayer stuff. Coin toss. Move tester.
Yep.
Calendar. Dot artist. Just so you can have some fun. Roulette. Chain counter. Kitchen timer. Color changer. So you can change the background of it from the plain green. Matchup checker. Stopwatch. Alarm clock. Hidden moves. So you can see like what hidden moves you unlocked. In it. So yeah. Although the hidden moves that was only in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. But still.
Yeah, so it is worth saying that you don't have all of these at the start. You need to hunt a lot of them down, and they're really out of the way at the end of the day. But if you like actually playing games, this is just a means of exploration. It's well worth the hunt because there's a lot of fun tools to be had, and now that we have the internet, it's easy to hunt down just the tools you want rather than everything.
Also, I'll say this, remember, this was also back in 2007 is when it got released in America. We didn't really have smartphones, or at least they were not that popular. So most kids, this is what they had to use. And they wanted to check the,
That's what I was trying to
the
say.
time. Yeah, watch. Calculator, right there. Memo pad, right there. It's like, say what you want about modern day. All of this was fucking amazing back then.
Yep. I wish the type checker was a little more accessible, but that's just me wanting convenience.
Anyways.
Hey, now the way is clear and I can move on to... Oh, come on!
He's just standing there, menacingly!
Chat wants to fight again, and this time I'm going to beat their damn face into the dirt because I have confusion now. Now, will you please go away, chat? Making it to Oreburg City, it turns out the gym leader is away because they're always away. Chat tells me to go to the mine, so I restrain myself from strangling them, for now. It's weird that in Sinnoh, gym leaders have to take day jobs. Is this all just volunteer? Is the Pokemon League just Cub Scouts, but for dogfighting? Anyway, Rourke...
No, because back then, there wasn't really space to make people have jobs. Not to mention that this does make the Sinnoh onwards more fleshed out characters than anything that Gen 1 had. Say what you want, it was the external media that made the Gen 1 gym leaders memorable.
Yep. Also, I wouldn't say this is their 9 to 5. I would say this is their passion and hobby. I mean, obviously, I'm sure there's a paycheck at the end of the day, but I think Rourke's doing it out of passion for exploring mines, not because she needs a 9 to 5. Sorry, I'm blanking on that. Or is it a guy? Man,
Are you talking
it's been a
about
little
the gym
long.
leader? That's a guy!
Yes, that's a guy? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Honestly, Rourke is like such a made-up name, it's hard to tell what gender it is.
Honestly, I just find that fucking hilarious. Ugh.
tells me that if
Anyways.
I get the badge from him, I can break rocks. Great name, by the way. The rock-type gym leader is Rourke. Stellar performance, Game Freak. Not since putting a B in front of rock have I seen such creativity. So I get back to the gym and challenge Rourke Balboa, and this is a piece of cake. Rock gyms are always simple and... Oh, that's not good. Not only did they finally give the rock gym a stab move, but I completely...
Hey, were you talking something about Ralts and Curlia and Gardevoir? Like there was some sort of issue about them?
Yeah, they have terrible defense stats, which makes them very prone to getting one-hit KO'd.
Yeah. Why would you choose this as your starter?
Genuinely, you don't even get time matchup. Hell, if you're doing this with, like, Infernape, well, not Infernape, if you still pick Chimchar, Chimchar evolves early, specifically because of this gym.
Yep.
So, yeah, literally, this is what you get for hacking the game. Really, you get no sympathy from me.
Forgot that before level 30, this line has worse stats than a Magikarp.
See? You just proved my fucking boy, you dumb fuck!
Honestly, I'm gonna say it here. People only love Gardevoir because of the art. That's it.
I wish I could deny that, but yeah. I
Don't
kind
get me
of
wrong,
have to
there's
agree.
reason to appreciate Pokemon as an art style. I mean, I can only appreciate Lucario as an art style and not as a gameplay feature, because he's terrible as a gameplay feature. But I still enjoy him as an art piece.
The thing is that both of those Pokemon can be used. It's just that they're not the greatest in the respective fields. Again, as I said, in Gen 3, Alakazam can essentially do what Gardevoir can, just infinitely better. Like, yeah, sure, you can't take a hit as well. But the thing is, what would kill what kills Alakazam, high chance would have also killed Gardevoir.
Yep. Anyways.
Carp. Oh, I'm in danger. Unsurprisingly, G goes down, but it's okay because I have my own Stony Boy. A Stony Boy with Fists of Rage. And then out comes a fucking Cranidos! You never see fossil Pokemon until the end of the game! Oh, fuck.
What?
I'm in trouble. I'm in deep shit. I'm in so much. Oh, hey, I won.
Almost lost my cool there.
And then comes
Okay, two
ahead.
things. One, in pretty much Gen 4 on, I don't know how it goes in the previous generations, but Gen 4 onwards, yeah, you get pretty decent access to the fossil restoration system. It's just a question of how you get the fossils. In Gen 4, it's through the underground, which is pretty cool. Gen 5, they just, I think, they hand you one inside the Relic, not castle, because you get it. It's in that place where it's tempting you with, oh, we're going to give you the Relic Castle. No, we're not. Have a fossil instead.
Are you talking about the
And
desert?
I do love those fossils. What?
Are you talking about the desert?
Yes.
Yeah, Relic Castle.
Yeah, but I forget if the first floor they call it Relic Castle or not. Because you're technically
Well-
only in the very start of it. And they don't let you get to the rest of it. Anyways, those fossils are fine. Gen 6, yeah, it's very accessible. Well, it's technically very accessible. That stretch of game is a little long, but otherwise very accessible. Gen 7... Honestly, I kind of forgot about that. Like, Lord, I forget where the revival is. It exists, I guess. Gen 8, I think it's a little late game, but only a little.
It's midway through. It's midway through.
Yeah. And Gen 9, again, I forget exactly where you do it, but again, there's not an obvious handout in that game.
Where do you revive them in Gen 9? I actually don't remember. I don't think I ever got a fossil Pokemon in Gen 9.
Yeah, and it's almost as if they don't really give you a major handout of any, like, I don't think that generation even had fossils to give you. Sorry, new fossil Pokemon to give you.
I'm gonna have to look into that later. But, yeah, no.
Yep.
Fossil restoration always happened late. In, Gen 1, that is on Sinnoh Island, the 7th gym. I don't remember in Gen 2, but I would not be surprised if you could only revive them in Sinnoh Island again.
Oh,
And
sorry, I
then-
looked it up. It's bad.
Oh, how bad?
Nothing.
For Gen 9?
Yep. Introduces nothing similar to Generation 2. It does not allow a player to obtain or revive fossils. The Cranios and Sheldon lines are only available in the wild of the Terrarium, which I believe is the Blueberry Academy.
Yes.
Yeah. So, nothing.
Goddamn. You think they would at least add it to the terrarium? Goddamn. Goddamn!
Yeah, wow. That's disgusting.
But yeah, I don't remember what it is in Gen 2. And Gen 3, I believe it's later as well. I think it's after you hit the sea.
Yeah, fair. Anyways, onto the gym battles happening here. The reason Geodude is surviving very well is Geodude is a physical tank, while Cranidos is a physical attacker. Usually scary because his physical attack is is just plain crazy for this part of the game. But since you brought in a physical tank, wouldn't you know it, you're doing just fine. Well, up until you lose to Onyx, but that's because you didn't take the turn to heal.
And even then,
it's on. You never see fossil Pokemon until the end of the game.
How
Oh,
much hit-
fuck. I'm in trouble. I'm in deep
yeah, that
shit.
did a shit ton
I'm
of
in so
damage,
much. Oh,
even
hey, I won.
being
Almost lost my cool there.
physical.
And then comes Onyx, who crunches my Geodude, and then one hits my Zubat and Starly. How did I not lose to Cranidos, but I did lose to Onyx? Whatever, we healed and went right.
The Brock quiz has come back! Brock has come back out of the skies of rock! You summoned him, Lily! You spoke thy name and he appeared!
And we already know the answer. She does not train her Pokemon well enough at all.
Yeah, no, like, there was 5 level differences on essentially all but G.
Back to it. This time, G got a critical hit on the Geodude, but got one shot by a Pursuit. And Geodude punched a hole right through Cranidos' bussy and proceeded to punch.
And again, okay, so she did heal this time. But yeah, no. Even being physically tanky, that, I've already forgot the name of it.
Geodude, but got one shot by a Pursuit.
Cranidos still does
And Geodude
decent
punched a hole
damage.
right through
So, I assume that's like 30 in 1 hit. Maybe 2 hits.
Yeah, probably 2 hits.
But still, that's doing like on average 15. So, if with bad matchup, that honestly might be a 2 hit. Depending on range.
Cranidos' bussy and proceeded to punch a hole right through Onyx. People who say Rock Smash is a bad move haven't had the joy of 4 defense drops in a row. Geodude is not a gentle lover. So I headed.
So
Okay.
RNG, you got lucky.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so RNG luck and also Rock Smash is good early game. I've never heard people say Rock Smash is shit early game. Only ever late game.
Yeah, even early game, it feels a little underpowered.
It's 40 base power with a chance of marking down. Like, yeah, that's the same power as Tackle, but Tackle's not necessarily a bad move. At least when you counter in, like, effective hits.
Yeah, it's just sometimes it's a little slow. It's not perfect.
Okay, fair.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I don't have a strong argument. I just remember it's like, man, this move kind of weak,
Okay,
and it's partially because you have weak Pokemon as well. Just
yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm just saying. Typically with me, if I'm using Rock Smash, it's typically doing well. It's doing what I want it to do.
North
Fair
onto
enough,
Route 204, only to realize that I needed a bike to move on, so I guess I had to go all the way back through Oreburgh Gate. Getting back to Jubilife City, I found Rowan and Lucas being harassed by Team Galactic, who wants his research. Rowan says it's a surprise that I already have a badge, tells Galactic they're bad people, we battle, and they run off. Now that sounds simple. I complain about these things a lot, but it sounds brief when I summarize it like that. However, it is one of the most needlessly long pieces of dialogue in the entire damn game. Like, it goes on for quite a while, and all it amounts to is, hey, Team Galactic, you're ne'er-do-wells who don't follow the rules. Also, wow, Lily, you sure are a good trainer. You should take the gym challenge that you were already doing. And also complete the Pokedex. Also, here's a fashion case. That's all they really say, and yet the dialogue...
Okay, but Rowan doesn't know that you're going on a gym challenge. This is the
Also,
first time
Rowan-
he's hearing of it.
but Rowan, no. Rowan is an old philosophizer. Oh my god, he's an old philosopher who is musing on what is right and wrong in his old age. So of course he's going to be wordy, and that's not a bad thing if you're, a normal, decent person.
Sometimes you have to say a lot of words to get an idea across. Sometimes you only need a small amount. Literally just supposed to skip all of that and just move on to the next gym.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is off topic, but I'm not even gonna bother. I do kind of wish that there was like 2v2 with 2 different players. Well, I guess 4 different players. So like 2 on each team. I feel like that could be a fun online format. Because then you have to figure out what your other team's going to be doing. Not necessarily just what can your Pokemon do.
Swore that exists, but I haven't gotten into competitive in most, if not all, my life, so I don't know.
I don't know, I just feel like that would be something fun. Because we see it happen in like external media all the time. Just never internal. With like actual players.
Well, yeah. Well, because to make it functional in-game, you would either have to take control of an NPC or, well, do what they do, which is let the NPC do their own thing. You're talking about online battles where, again, I never checked the system.
I know, I'm just saying, I feel like it would be cool if like 2 different players having to team up, each select 3 Pokemon, and yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a side thing. We need to stay on topic.
already doing. And also complete the Pokedex. Also, here's a fashion case. That's all they really say, and yet the dialogue itself is so fucking long. Just look at this played in real time, where I'm mashing the A button as fast as possible.
Quiet, you lots.
That's kind of funny. Why is the timer still going?
Now the timer isn't accurate because they cut the battle.
I love how we had the exact opposite complaint. Because to me, it's like, it's transitioning to battle. Why is the timer still going? That time is no longer accurate because they skipped the battle.
Yep.
Is this necessary? Is
Yes.
this really fucking necessary?
Yes.
They just go on for so fucking long. I can't imagine trying to read this inane crap in real time. This isn't fucking pathologic.
Doing it.
Why do you need pages of text
1 second.
to tell me the most simple goddamn things? This is why a
You're a fucking
Okay.
fanfic writer!
Okay, let's just take her argument at it. So she said, "Oh, here, defeat these guys. Oh, here, you're doing the Pokedex thing. Oh, here, have a fashion case." Mr. Here, have a fashion case guy couldn't have just said that because that would be weird, impromptu, and then just have it shoved in our faces, and then she would complain that he shoves it in our face.
Yep.
So, like, no, he goes through what he says because he politely addresses you and, gives the context for what he's talking about. Then, hey, that was a smashing battle. Here, have this gift. By the way, the gift is useful in this current thing that's going on, which you probably didn't know about before, especially if you didn't explore around. So, hey, maybe check it out. Meanwhile, the professor is having a great moment of characterization, which he probably won't get much elsewhere because he's not a super relevant part of the story. I mean, he does appear later, obviously, but all the same, most professors don't usually get to have this kind of field work done. So him getting this amount of characterization is honestly awesome in terms of just plain character writing. I mean, I want to joke and say something like yada yada by crackety, but at the same time, it's just a fun trope to have an old man who's chatty, is basically tearing somebody apart with words alone, and honestly also has shifted priorities because he thinks he's more important than you.
Also, characterization and world building. Those are things that this cutscene shows in great detail, specifically of the professor, and then the fashion case showing, like, yeah, no, people love to dress up their Pokemon. Hell, they even have, like, these little sticker capsules that you can put onto your Pokeballs. When you send them out, they pop out stickers.
Yep.
I believe that was part of it. So it's like, things that anyone that, a writer, Lily wrote fanfic, she should fucking know this. World building is so, like, wait, no, that's right, I just remembered, in her 100 tips video, she downplayed world building. She said world building is not that needed. I just remembered. Okay, never mind, Lily, you're a shit writer. I've come to this realization.
Yeah.
God damn it. But yeah, no. There's so much in that got summed up. And hell, we even Jesus gets some of the funny things Rowan said.
Yeah, okay, that. Also, speaking of characterization, they gave some fun characterization to the two thugs. Instead of being hapless nobodies, they actually try to have the whole gangsta act. Hey, you're gonna hand over stuff, or we're gonna get real unnice-like. You may not like what's gonna come next. It's tropey, but it's a fun characterization.
And then
they are spicing things up instead of just being hapless nobodies.
And then
Sorry.
they kind of drop it slightly when Rowan just smack talk back to them.
As if it's an act.
Yeah, but it's like, that's just the thing. It's like, these are supposed to be fun characters. Yeah, because it's not your preferred Pokemon. You don't fucking care.
Man, I wish I was watching Chugga Conway right now. He'd go nuts over this scene. He would be here for like hours talking about how much he loves this particular scene because he's just good at appreciating shit.
Genuinely, yes, although, yeah. Anyways, I have not actually watched Chugga Conway in a while.
skip cutscene features needed in these games. All of this would be more tolerable if I could just go,
Would you know? Another Kingdom Hearts.
Genuinely. When did you get poisoned?
Oh my god. Deal with your fucking poison, you twat.
Sorry. I just... Why is it Gardevoir's hand?
Why isn't it Gardevoir's hand?
I'd rather just prefer it be... Just rip off the Kingdom Key. Like, if you're gonna go this far with the actual sound effects, you might as well go all the way.
But then it's not inclusion of Gardevoir, which means she can't simp over Gardevoir.
Genuinely, Lily makes me hate having Gardevoir as one of my favorites. I genuinely,
Yep.
genuinely hate Lily for this. Oh, also skipping the entire story, which is not something you want to do in a retrospective.
Or a first playthrough.
Or a first playthrough. Which, to be fair, that would be appreciated for subsequent playthroughs, but let's be honest. The Pokemon Company doesn't really want you to start a new save file. They want you to buy another copy and use that.
Anyways, yeah, like, just learn to have patience. This game is trying to teach you patience. Not intentionally, but it's going to teach you patience no matter whether you like it or not.
And even then, it's like, part of the game is the story. I understand some people play for the gameplay, others play for the stories. Different types for different people. I do understand all that. You can't ignore either when you're doing a retrospective.
Mm-hmm.
Because what... also, this is part of the reason why we don't really get much accurate topics of story with Lily, because she just skips it.
Yeah. I mean, she's skipping a lot of things. Remember, she didn't talk about items in Generation 2.
Holy shit, she didn't talk about items in Generation 2. Did she talk about them in Generation 3?
Nope.
God
A fundamental
This is
gameplay introduction. Completely ignored.
What I mean when I say Pokemon story hasn't improved. They still use very one-dimensional characters all the time. They're just more verbose about it. They talk forever about nothing. And it's not like they also have voice actors you could enjoy in spite of that. Instead, it's like watching subtitled anime. Just a whole lot of reading the most inane, terrible bullshit and wondering why the fuck people think this is good. I made it to Floroma Town and then ran right...
Okay.
No, I'm not justifying it with opinion. We all know it's wrong.
Voice acting, I do agree that the modern games should have voice acting. Because at this point, there's not much reason it shouldn't.
Yeah, but that's when we cover the later games, where it's an actual issue. Here, it's still a typical text-based RPG.
Here, though, it's like... What, would you rather just them go, ooh, me evil, ooh, Lily, I heal, and then just fight? Like, do you want them to talk caveman, very simple, very quick? Where's the characterization?
Here, have a fashion case. Remember, she is the one who said, here, have this fashion case. That's her idea of ideal dialogue.
Ooh, fashion case, Lily. What'd it do? Ooh, find out.
Past Floroma Town to continue on to the next motherfucker. Alright, I went back to the power plant, but I need the key, which is in the flower patch. Thanks, random grunt, for being terrible at your job. Back into the town we go. In the flower garden, I found 2 more grunts harassing this old man, and after destroying them completely and utterly, I got the key to a power plant. This is definitely something you should give to a 12-year-old girl. Inside the power plant, I found Galactic Commander Mars. No, seriously, what's your real name? This is Team Galactic. That is not your real name. Whatever, Mars only has 2 Pokemon. This is a piece of...
Okay, you know what? Hold the fuck on.
Okay.
The trans girl is upset at the Team Galactic admin for having a chosen name.
Oh shit, you right! Holy shit, you right!
Hey Lily, what's your actual name? Because you're trans. You're not born with the name Lily. What's your actual name?
Holy shit, you're right! And even then...
Honestly, I'm this close to misgendering her. She's losing that much respect.
No, we will stay strong. That is the weapon of the enemy. That is the weapon of the enemy. We do not fall for the enemy's tricks.
And she is enemy.
Yes. So what does that tell you?
Enemy of my enemy is my friend?
Not what I meant. I meant more so like she probably also does it. Considering she pretty much nearly did it to Mars.
Shit, I didn't think about that.
Like that.
I bet she loves J.K. Rowling.
I'm not saying she does, because I actually do not know. If you told me, however, I would not be surprised. That's my stance on that.
It would be hilarious to see her opinion on the Harry Potter series. With or without J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
be downright hilarious.
Whatever, it's common knowledge that if you throw a rock at a bat, it'll stop moving. Next is a cat, something that 12-year-old me also had experience in throwing rocks at.
What the fuck?
No,
Okay.
part of me wants to believe it's
hopefully
not.
she's lying. Hopefully she's lying. Hopefully she's lying.
I have a feeling it's not. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not gonna go into all her cases. I would like to not know that.
Fair.
I will say this though, like, once again, proving my point about routes. Gardevoir and Gallade are excellent once you get up to there, but they're not meant for combat.
Maybe when I use one dog type move, Chomp Chomp.
Like, I'm sorry, Lily, but G is not that strong. Like, silly, routes was made specifically for Wally.
Yep.
So, like, that's why Wally, weak and fragile near the beginning, middle stage, where he fights for the first time, he is getting there. He is starting to become competent. Not enough, though. And then you fight him at his fully grown strength. And, yeah. That's what Vault is supposed to represent. However, you don't care about Wally enough to actually figure that shit out.
Yeah.
Also, it's part of the reason why I don't...
Before we continue, just to get it out of the way, I love this fight because the Purgly choice is such a cool difficulty spike. Being an evolved Pokemon means that just Pokemon hits way harder than anything you have on offer. And
it's stronger
even
than
being
you.
just a normal... Yeah, it is way stronger than you. It's out of nowhere. I kind of disliked it as a kid because I lost and I sucked, but now I'm an adult. It's honestly one of the really cool features that they are willing to slap you in the face like this.
Yep.
Whatever, it's common knowledge that if you throw a rock at a bat, it'll stop moving. Next is a cat, something that 12-year-old me also had experience in throwing rocks at. Unfortunately, this cat has apparently been around children because she's acclimated to rocks being hurled at her skull, and I lost. I came back.
I will say this, I just realized poor Ugly has fake out. Wow, that's mean.
Yep.
An earthquaked your face in, and the scientists said that they were gathering energy to create a new universe. Sir, they were fucking with you. They're insane. Don't take the right-wing death cults at their word. They're not gonna make a new universe with 2 windmills.
It's not the windmills!
What? The windmills are only a small part of the plan. What the fuck?
They need power, then they took the power they need. This is what I mean when I said in Gen 3 that for the other evil teams, like Team Plasma and Team Galactic, you don't really stop their plans until the very end. Unlike with Team Aqua and Team Magma, where you actually have foiled their plans. Because even if we kicked them out, this was still a failure. Well, like a failure on our end, because we didn't stop them from getting the energy. They still got the energy they were after.
Outside, I run into Looker, who keeps up the stellar reputation of the police by being fucking useless and arriving 20 minutes too late. He thanks me for doing his job for him and runs off for goals I'm not entirely certain of, but given historical precedent, I wouldn't want to live in Nakreen City right now. Anyway, the good part is that those damn grunts aren't blocking the bridge anymore and I can move on. And I have to say, Sinnoh's fucking ugly. The colors are muted, half the roots are covered in mud, the entire game looks washed out and gray, and even the forests look damp and depressing. Everything about Sinnoh...
We covered this.
It's a mountain area you're walking.
Looks...
This is a fucking city surrounded by stone.
washed out and gray, and even the
tile work.
This doesn't look that bad.
Yeah, Eterna City is actually one of the better looking things because of the good use of shading.
forests look damp and depressing. Everything about Sinnoh is just...
I adjusted the colors a little bit so it looks so much better.
I feel like I'm in a Zelda overworld. What the fuck?
That's kind of what the effect was going for. It was supposed to look like
gross and
the Lost
miserable.
Woods
Even
from
the music.
Link to the Past.
You know, fair enough.
Twin Leaf Town sounds like the theme to Coronation Street, a musical score that is determined to invoke suicidal urges.
What?
Okay, hold on.
I don't care for the music,
This
is what I'm
sounded
getting.
like a pretty good jazz.
That was not okay. Whatever.
At. If it's not putting me to sleep, it's filling me with an intense existential dread. Like, I'm 30.
What?
Why am I marathoning the Pokemon games? What am I doing with my life? What have I amounted to? I spent my entire 20s grinding out videos for the internet to pay my rent. What is this hell I have sealed myself in? Why am I pissing away what little time I have on this planet seeking coins to trade for— oh hey, the exit.
Lucky we didn't pay.
I know it was for a bit, but if you hate this lifestyle, you can always quit. Hell, you could also do everyone a favor and— I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't actually do that. I don't.
You could do a favor and stop spreading your opinion on the internet when anyone and everyone is turning to you and saying it's really bad.
Seriously, go back to Tim Hortons. Oh wait, you said you got fired from there. I don't.
Yeah.
If I recall, that story was fabricated. Actually, I don't. I need to look into it more. But if I recall,
I would
it was
not put an
fabricated.
HR violation beyond her.
Yeah.
She is a
So in
walking,
Eternal
talking
City,
HR violation. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think any place would keep her for long. Cause Jesus.
Planet seeking coins to trade for— oh hey, the exit.
Lucky we didn't panic.
So in Eternal City, I ran into Chat again, who drags me to the statue of one of the mascot Pokemon, where Cyrus is monologuing about creating a new universe, and then immediately fucks off. Good talk, Cyrus. I head to the Eternal City gym, and Gardenia's outside to tell me that I have to fight the gym trainers for— what? Like, I get it, Pokemon games from Gen 4 onward hold your hand like a creepy uncle with a My Little Pony collection, but this is the second gym. This isn't the first gym. I've already got the first gym badge at this point. I've already done this. I know how this works already. In this particular game, too. This only puts more confusion on the fact that Rowan is surprised that I have a gym badge already. Did I sequence break? I had to look it up. I genuinely thought I broke a sequence here or something. It turns out I didn't. The game's just like this. In fact, this is a problem the games have had for quite some time. Here's an example. After finishing the gym—
Okay, so I paused too soon because I want to talk about that.
Yeah, sorry, what's happening?
She's complaining that
I
she has
zoned
to
out just a half second.
She's complaining that she has to fight all the trainers specifically for this gym. And she says, I've been doing that all this time. And it's like, but you could skip trainers. You can always skip. There's always going to be a gym trainer you can skip in Pokemon games, especially if you know how.
No, I think all the fights in Eterna are mandatory in both versions.
In Eterna, yes, but that's because that's the gimmick of it. I'm referring to like any other gym.
Yeah, it's like some are mandatory, some are you're able to elude them. It depends.
But in Eterna, that one specifically is fight everyone. And she's complaining that's like, oh, this is the second badge we get, and I have to fight everyone? Come on, this isn't the first gym. And it's like, and? That's just the gimmick of this. Hell, Sword and Shield, you literally the gimmick for the Dragon Trainer was Dragon Gym leader was double battles, and that's just it, just double battles. Challenges can be whatever. God, I hate Lily.
And again, you're just a bad player if you have to skip the trainers.
Yep.
gym and getting ready to move on, I'm stopped by Cynthia, who offers me an egg. Now, at first I legit thought this egg contained a Riolu. My memory of this game isn't very good. This is the first time I played it in 15 years. So naturally, since Lucario is one of my least favorite Pokemon, I chose no. And then Cynthia refuses to let me leave until I initiate dialogue with her again to accept the egg. I finally accepted it and tried to leave again, only for a lady blocking the way to refuse to let me through until I have an Explorer's Kit, which is used to access the optional underground area. And since I'm playing on an emulator, is virtually useless and is actually useless on actual hardware in 2022, and the feature wasn't that great when the game was new anyway. But I can't move on until I get this one key item. A cyclist blocking another exit out of the city did the same thing. Have I not made it clear that I want to move on? When I relented and went to get it, the Explorer Kit man wanted to give me a tutorial for the underground. I was given another yes or no choice and picked no, obviously, and you know what happened? He actually took no for an answer. Sure, he was guilt-trippy and sad about my refusal, saying that he's very lonely, which is actually the only time in this game the dialogue has ever been charming, but I was allowed to leave without going through the tutorial. What a novel concept. Out of any single thing Game Freak does poorly with the Pokemon games, it's this failure to take no for an answer from the player that's the most glaring. Frankly, I don't understand why they put so many of these meaningless yes or no questions in the game at all. Like, I understand why tutorials aren't optional. Junichi Masuda is a boomer who has nothing but contempt for children. What I don't understand is why there are so many instances in the series where the game asks you if you want to do something and then ignores you if you say no. Time had to be dedicated to making the decision and writing the twee refusal dialogue, so the question is, Why? This is further compounded by the fact that the Explorer's Kit man and a man who offers to show you the contest hall in Hearthome City both actually take no for an answer. So pick a lane. Either I can't say no, in which case stop asking, or I can say no, in which case listen when I do. Children get enough of adults railroading them and disrespecting their wishes in real life, they don't need it in their video games. And yet Pokemon, the most popular kids game of all time, insists on being a nagging parent the entire way through. After beating the gym and
Okay,
This is a valid complaint.
I disagree with a bit of it. Like the one with the egg. So she says no to the egg specifically because it's Riolu and she doesn't want that Pokemon.
It's not, by the way. I'm pretty sure it isn't.
It's not. She even says she thought it was. I'm pretty sure it's the Togepi egg.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, is that... Okay, so you say no to the egg, so you're just fucked out of this exclusive Pokemon now? This Pokemon you can only get once of in the entire game?
Yeah, you still have the option to say no.
You should still have the... I agree that you should have the honor to say no, but it's like, think about it this way. If you say no and then continue onwards, good luck, you can never complete the Pokedex, because now you can't get Togepi. You can never get that Pokemon on your save file ever again. You're just completely locked out of it. Unless they want to do something weird, like just give it to you through another means. Like, just sending it to your box.
Trade with a friend. Mainly trade with a friend, actually, but even so, like, if you're here to catch them all, then want to know what you're gonna do? You're gonna take the egg.
Like, to me, it's just like, for most of it, like, when it comes to it being like an actual fucking tutorial, I understand. Like, that's how it should be. However, when it's just something like this, it's like, you're literally only saying no just because you don't give a fuck. Or you just want to say no just to say no. Because most people, there's no fucking reason to not just take it. Not to mention, it's Cynthia! It's fucking Cynthia!
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, she's gonna have something bad to say about Cynthia, isn't she?
Yeah. Anyways, well, yeah. In terms of the egg turn down, that kind of sucked. That it's a but thou must sort of situation. But for the tunnel tutorial, it is poorly designed. I know why it is what it is, but it is so unendingly lengthy. But it's something I get through because the underground tunnel is worth it. It's just that, I don't know, maybe they should have rethought it.
Maybe. I'm just saying, it's like, for things like that, I understand. For things like the egg, no. For things that make you say yes or no in order to continue the plot along, okay, that one is more annoying, but it's also just kind of fun to see what they would say in response. Like,
also,
like sorry, like, I don't remember what game it was, but there's one that says, like, join our team if you say yes, and then they just call you out. It's like, you have a smoke on your face, you don't mean it. Like, it's like, because you get to see silly dialogue with, like, that one. It's like, yeah, it kind of sucks, but again, it must be for the story. What Lily wants to do is ignore the story.
Yep. Anyways, right, she talked about the underground tunnel itself, and I said incorrect. Because, no, okay, I'm never someone who never engaged the wireless/online parts of the underground tunnel. I didn't have friends that were playing Pokemon. I had friends, they just weren't playing video games. That said, it's still exceedingly worth messing with. Anytime you go mining, you have a chance to find some of the like typical stone stuff you find, like evolution stones, the Arceus plates, and fossils.
I also believe you can find shards there, can't you?
Yeah, you can find shards. You can find a lot of things in the underground. Like, seriously, a lot. Yes. And for what it's worth, the gems and pearls you find, or whatever they call them exactly, are themselves helping you get certain collectibles, like the plushies. Love the plushies. So yeah, it does suck that you have to spend time into the whole side thing of, like, decorating your room, maybe getting a new drill to find a new location, or whatever, especially when there's no interactability left. But they made sure that there's so much to it besides the friendship stuff that, honestly, it's still worth the expenditure.
I realize she's talking about this, but she didn't talk about the secret bases in Gen 3.
Yep. Because she wasn't forced to, and she doesn't want to actually play the game, she wants to get through the game. Which it's funny that she called the Gen 3 the best one, and still rushed through that game as fast as she could possibly go.
Ugh.
Getting cut, I had to go into the Galactic headquarters. Why? I have no idea. I'm not paying attention to the dialogue at this point. I just have to go in there to beat up Sailor Jupiter. I crush her, send her back to hell with the rest of the Sailor Scouts, and get this guy's Cleffa back. Or Bunnery. Which one's yours again? I don't actually care. I make it to Hearthholm City, but the gym's closed because the leader is at the contest Oh no. Oh, please don't force me to do a contest. On the way there, my egg hatched into a Togepi. Oh, there was a Togepi. God, I'm so fucking stupid. I get to the contest hall and find my mother there talking to the woman I let out of the forest. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, yours just as stupid.
Yeah.
Also, honestly, I'm not even gonna make a mention of anything that happened. Honestly, it's mostly harmless due to all the shit we currently see.
Yeah.
Sorry about that existential crisis back there. She gives me some glitter powder. Thanks, I'm never getting this off my purse now. And then my mom gives me a dress. I'm not really a dress kind of girl, Mom. But anyway, I found Fantina, and she agreed to go back to the gym without any headaches. Well, that was mercifully painless. I feel like I'm about to be blatted in the face with a rake. Fantina's gym is a ghost-type gym that plays with light and visibility to find the exit to the broom and avoid the trainers. Going forward, I'm only going to highlight the unique gym puzzles, and this is one that's actually pretty interesting. Utilizing darkness in a way that's more clever than Brawly's gym ever was, and a more creative use of navigation than Morty's gym. Fantina herself is also reasonably difficult. By this gen, I was kind of used to ghost Pokemon also being poison-type as well, so it caught me off guard when I remembered, oh crap, I can't just curly on my way through this one. And I ended up losing twice. And you know what? I respected the game for that. But during my grinding, my Golbat evolved into Crobat, and because Ghost is weak to Dark, for some inexplicable reason, Crobat was able to just straight sweep.
You want to explain it?
I honestly don't remember any sort of reasonable explanation for why Ghost is exactly weak to Dark, but yeah, that's one of the types it's weak to. Get over it.
I'm pretty sure it's because, crap, what was it? Yeah, it doesn't matter that ultimately.
Yeah, Pokemon type interactions aren't always going to make sense. Excuse me. Aren't always going to make sense. They just sometimes aren't. That doesn't make them bad. There's still important gameplay decisions, like giving Ghost a major type to be weak to, like the ever so common and prevalent Dark.
I will say this, it's probably something about like how Dark swallows Ghost whole. Or something about how evil causes corpses.
Maybe.
Like, if you want to get dark and take like a modus path on it, it makes sense.
Sweep through the entire gym on the third go. Aw, who's you good boy? Heading west to Route 209, I immediately run into fucking Chat. Excuse me, I need to bash this annoying little pissant over the head and neck. I came across this tower, which turned out to be a graveyard. On the third floor, it got a lot of fog, which reduces accuracy by 40%. But thankfully, G knows Magical Leaf, which never misses. There's a lot of places in this game that have fog, which means if you carry moves that have guaranteed accuracy, like Magical Leaf or Shockwave, it means you can turn the fog from a Kiss Curse weather effect into just a bonus. Defog?
Oh, I was just about to talk about it. Never mind. Sorry.
Is an option and is an HM in this game, but personally I prefer having 40% extra evasion as a baseline. As I enter Salacion Town, who should I run into but the living embodiment of every nightmare I've ever had. He brags about having seals, but forgot to put them on. Ha! Dumbass. In Veilstone City, I head to the gym to see Lucas out front. He mentions something about the Pokedex. I don't remember, I wasn't paying attention. And then Crasher Wake comes out of the gym and introduces himself before running off. Lucas wishes me good luck, and I head in. Veilstone Gym is an actual gym? What the fuck? I mean, makes sense, it's a fighting type gym, but it's in serious disrepair, holy shit. Puzzle here is basically a block pushing puzzle using heavy bags to clear obstacles and open pathways. It's a little intricate, you have to double back a few times to get through the entire thing. I like this one, it's pretty neat. As Mayland's Pokemon are fighting.
Okay, hold on.
What's up?
So she says, okay, so this is a gem that's actually decked out like a gem. Gem means many things. Because, like, yeah, when we think of a gem, we typically think of, like, you know, Anytime Fitness, Planet Fitness with, like, weights and shit.
Yep.
However, let me look up the meaning of gym. Gymnasium or physical education. Tell me, what happens in Pokemon gyms? A lot of fighting. And a lot of studying how to fight better. AKA physical education.
Yep.
So, no, it's a traditional gym, sure, but they're all a gym.
Type G's the go-to here. I get off one Calm Mind and then proceed to sweep both Meditite and Machoke. Then out comes Lucario, who takes a few more hits to get down, but he still ultimately goes down. Then I run into Lucas, who claims Galactic took his
Still
Pokedex
psychic.
and asks if I want to help him beat them up. Assault under dubious circumstances? Count me in! After G mugs them and steals their wallets, we get Lucas's Pokedex back. Then Looker shows up and says he heard about children feuding with Team Galactic. He then deputizes me to form an illegal search of Team Galactic's warehouse. Do you even have a warrant? Are you allowed to just force a child to help you? Do you even care about what you're allowed to do? Look at me trying to reason with a cop. Well, there's a sealed
Look,
I mean, like, yeah, ACAB, but like, I don't know. The joke is tired.
I'm tired of this joke. For those people that are watching this split up, we're only an hour 43, an hour and 43 minutes into this, and we're already at like the 10th anti-cop joke here. And the problem is, it's going to get worse with Looker. Because Looker appears often, because Looker is a likable character!
Yeah.
And also, here's the thing. Like, does he have a warrant for this? Do you want them to go through the legal procedures for Team Galactic? When you already complained that he was late? For the very... sorry, that's my alarm. For, like, the very...
Yeah. So I will say it's almost 5, so maybe like 15 more minutes, and roughly then I gotta go.
Yeah.
door inside, so our breaking and entering can only go so far. Looks like we have to part ways, Looker. I'd say it's been fun, but frankly, your presence makes my skin crawl. If the game allowed me to, I'd have Gene microwave your brain. Arriving in past...
And that made my skin crawl.
Yeah. I think it's fairly obvious, but even the people who think cops are evil are generally
frankly,
not
your presence
arguing
makes
for
my skin
violence on them.
Sorry.
If
I
the game
was
allowed me...
What the fuck is that?
What is that?
What the fuck is that?
Spang Tong, that you?
Anyways, just fucking hate this goddamn image.
Yeah, no.
Too, I'd have Gene microwave your brain. Arriving in Pastoria City, I go right for the gym, only to be interrupted by Chat, who demanded another battle. But G learned Psychic, so his Pokemon fell like dominoes. The Pastoria gym leader is... Oh, it's Crasher Wave. I was wondering when I'd see you again. His specialty is water Pokemon, and unfortunately for him, G has recently learned Shockwave. It nearly one-shots his Gyarados, and that's without even using Calm Mind. Then his Floatzel comes out with a crunch.
Okay. That's
the move-
interesting.
What? Sorry, what's up?
Shockwave. It nearly...
What's the power of Shockwave?
60, but quad weak.
Okay. Jeez. I thought G would have had something better. I thought Gardevoir learned something better for that by now. Oh well.
one-shots his Gyarados, and that's without even
She
using Calm
wants her
Mind. Then his
default
Floatzel comes out with
benefits,
a
so she's keeping with Shockwave.
crunch. Okay, was sincerely not expecting that. Luckily, my Crobat took him out. Then I confused his
Oh,
Quagsire...
what?
I did.
Yeah, that's like the move. That's the coverage for the Floatzel. It's the Floatzel from the Bible.
The Floatzel from the Bible.
I'm the Floatzel from the Bible.
I did not expect that reference. But no, it's like, I saw the crunch and my mind just goes, oh no. Because
Yeah,
as someone that actually pays attention to Pokemon stats, I know if I see a dark move hit Gardevoir, there's a 60% chance it's dead. Especially if it's physical.
Also, keep Crunch in mind, because I will have something to say about Generation 7.
Ooh,
Whether
ooh.
she touches on it or not. Yeah, dark types are everywhere. It
Finished
sucks.
it off with Togetic. Togetic was a good choice in Gen 2. I decided to go with it again in Gen 4. Then we get outside and Crasher Wake says he overheard Team Galactic talking about a bomb. A bomb. You're just committing regular terrorism at this point. This is Pokemon. You should at least be using an Electro with Explosion. You're not fitting the theme, Galactic. We get to the end.
But that's the thing! The bomb, an Electro would not be strong enough! And
Yeah,
that's why
they
you needed
explode all
energy
the
for
time and
bomb.
do not do anything.
Yeah.
Entrance of the Great Marsh and the bomb explodes. Holy shit, they actually did it. Then a grunt came out and confessed to terrorism and ran off. Crasher Wake runs into an active explosion. Honestly, I respect the hell out of him for it. I was deputized to chase after someone who just set off a bomb. I chased him around a mountain and through a resort before finally cornering him on the road. And he sends out a single Krogunk. Krogunk are 4 times weak to Psychic. So I
hate
crush
that.
him, and he just walks off, and I just let
Oh,
him,
not as
apparently.
bad as
Kind of
Luna.
beats the purpose of chasing after him, but whatever, Game Freak. Just want to make sure I get my cardio, huh? Then Cynthia gives me some medicine to get rid of a group of Psyduck blocking Route 210, which remains the most ridiculous roadblock the game has implemented. She then asked me...
Wait, what about the fucking dancing men? I know the dancing men in this game.
And, like, Roblox are a natural part of RPGs. Not always pretty, but the Psyducks at least try to make sense.
Hell,
The
the side.
Psyducks having crazy migraines.
And here's the great thing: it's also Pokemon themed. As you
Yeah.
said, which makes it bad. It's like,
Trust me, there are times where Pokemon has very egregious roadblocks of just, I'm mildly inconvenient, so I'm going to inconvenience you and make sure you don't progress in the way we don't want you to go. But this one at least made a lot of sense, had interactivity with Cynthia, getting the medicine, all that is actually pretty solid.
to deliver a charm to her grandmother. Ma'am, I'm not a free courier service. Just go spend time with your grandmother. Stop avoiding your family. So I find the Psyduck and use the medicine.
okay, we're gonna stop it here.
Krogunk. Krogunk are 4 times weak to Psychic.
Oh, what's
So I
it?
crush him, and he just walks off, and I just let him, apparently. Kind of beats the purpose of chasing after him, but whatever, Game Freak. Just want to make sure I get my cardio, huh? Then Cynthia gives me some medicine
What?
to get rid of a group of Psyduck blocking Route 210, which remains the most ridiculous roadblock the game has implemented. She then asked me to deliver a charm to her grandmother. Ma'am, I'm not a free courier service. Just go spend time with your grandmother. Stop avoiding your family. So I find the Psyduck and use the medicine to clear their headache. Alright, now shoo. Go on, find some frozen peas to steal. As I progress further through the route, the fog gets really thick. As I mentioned before, I opted not to get defog because G and Togetic have moves with guaranteed accuracy, meaning that I get to benefit from the 40% accuracy loss from fog. This makes fog a benefit rather than a hindrance, and it means I don't have to waste move slots on an HM with only one real application. Not that I dislike HM.
Honestly, fail. Say what you want. That was
I can see the strat, but
that,
I just don't want to. So good.
that is honestly actually kind of smart. I will give Lily that.
It is. I wouldn't want to have to always pull up a map to better navigate the area. Defog isn't so much about the accuracy issues, it's about the fact that you have trouble seeing where you're going.
Yeah. But still, to me, it's like, it's the same thing as like Flash in a cave. You know,
Yeah.
it's better if you have it, but it's not a requirement. And since this has an actual in-battle effect, Lily is making use of that.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. It's just, in general, I would prefer just to have defog.
I probably would too, but no, this is actually a smart way to get around that.
HMs. Personally, I love the idea of field moves. It's more fun using my Pokemon to clear obstacles than items or special ride Pokemon, and managing HMs has never really been an issue for me because I know the kind of move spread I need. HMs are a bugbear in the community. I guess it's part of the problem of people thinking they need full type coverage on every Pokemon, but honestly, I never really had that problem. Just on Gardevoir alone, I need only 3 move slots, Psychic or Psyshock depending on the gen, a non-Psychic type damaging move, and Calm Mind. Everything else is optional after that, and that's the approach I take with the rest of my Pokemon, so working in a few HMs isn't a problem. Besides, the fact that I have 24 move slots and have to manage them between moves for battle and moves for the field is an interesting bit of resource management. And I think Pokemon removing it just because some PokeTubers complained that they couldn't be 100% optimized in this children's game was a bad move. As I mentioned before, I think my generation's refusal to think and adapt to roadblocks is part of why the Pokemon games turned into such a boring snorefest. We did this to ourselves, honestly. Arriving in Celeste.
Okay, I agree and disagree. One, I will always say is better for it to be your own Pokemon doing it, because it feels like they're helping you out on your journey.
Yes.
However, some Pokemon really needs their movesets, and also it kind of sucks when you have, like, let's say Fly, like, because like there's a lot of HMs. There's a lot of HMs out there. I think there's like in total 7 HM moves out there, if I recall correctly. So that is 7 move slots that you have to deal with spread amongst all of your Pokemon. And this is why people get HM slaves. It's because it's more convenient to have like Strength, Surf, and Rock Climb. I don't know if any Pokemon can actually learn those 3, but it's just a lot easier to have all 3 of those on one Pokemon that you can bring with you instead of this mess. Cause like cut on Roserade. Okay, well that move is kind of useless, but that's fine. Like Roserade can make it work with only 3. Because a lot of Pokemon
Yep.
can. It's just that having that extra flexibility really helps. Flying on Togekiss is not that great, because if I recall, the strength stat isn't that high. They are a special attacker first and foremost, so that's kind of a wasted move slot.
The physical is pretty lacking, so Fly would be pretty bad. Strength on Lopunny actually isn't that bad, though.
No, but that's the thing, though. Strength is one of the few HMs that could actually be used in combat, like Soft.
That flies well. Anyways, sorry, I was thinking like a good example. So I'm going to be playing Alpha Sapphire again to get a feel of it. And I have Blaziken. So I want a fire type move, a fighting type move, and I want the flying coverage of Brave Bird and the like if I can help it. This leaves only one move left for me, and that's deciding whether I want it to be some sort of support like a speed boost so that I don't have to always Mega Evolve him to get speed access, or bulk up for better power, or I don't know, something else entirely. Wasting it on Cut or Rock Smash would really hinder Blaziken's ability because he's missing that one utility out and the 3 coverage moves, and I can't really budge on the 3 coverage moves.
And also, again, here also presents another problem with it. Cut, Fly, and Strength on these Pokemon. Surf, Rock Smash, Waterfall, and Rock Climb, which, remember, Surf and Waterfall are 2 great Water-type moves.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even on the team. She would have to swap out one of these Pokemon for just to travel with the other one, and that's the issue with HMs. I honestly prefer what they did in the Let's Go games, honestly. Where you don't have to teach them that HM move, where you don't have to teach either Pokemon or Eevee that Let's Play move. That Let's Play move, yes. You don't have to teach Eevee or Pikachu the HM move. You just have to unlock the badge that gives you the ability to do it, and then you can do it. If they took that approach where you don't have to actually teach the HM to it, but essentially just like assign an HM to that Pokemon, so is it available without being usable in battle? Honestly, I think that would be a lot better.
I think Sun and Moon did it best. The Pokepager having better utility beyond just using a HM move was really cool. You have 2 bikes. Fly is a cool cutscene. Goodness, what else? I mean, you get to be carried by a Machamp. That's pretty neat. I think that had a lot more fun gameplay aspect than any I've seen because I haven't played Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu.
Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu have ride Pokemon. If the Pokemon is big enough, you can ride it.
Oh yeah, that's true, but I don't think that applied in the HM sense, but that's not important.
It can, though! Considering...
Oh, it can?
Here's the thing. Remember, when you use Strength in a place... well, this is all the way back in Gen 1. When you use Strength, as long as you're in that room, you can push boulders. You don't have to keep reactivating it. So it would be the same as if you're just riding a Machamp. It's just, instead, it would be with, like, your respective Strength Pokemon. And I can kind of understand because the overlap with, models might be a bit weird. But I'm just saying, it's like, the idea of it being your own Pokemon, to me, is cooler than you just, like, renting a Pokemon to do it.
Yeah.
It makes them feel more puzzle to the Johnny.
Yeah, so that's kind of one place where Lily is right here in trying to balance that. And I do agree with the resource management. It's just, like, it would be amazing if it weren't so tough for a fair amount of Pokemon to weasel in that 1 to 2 junk moves, because sometimes they do need that better coverage, that better utility. They don't always have a slot to spare.
Moves are precious. Some Pokemon can make it work, others cannot. When you only have 4 options to choose from, over the hundreds that a Pokemon could learn, it is very, very cutthroat. And again, Cut is useless. Rock Smash, good early game, kinda useless. Rock Climb, I don't even remember if that's good or not. The only...
80 base power null type, it's kind of okay.
80 base power with null type, okay. So Rock Climb is there. Like, you could use it, I guess. Like, that one is probably not that bad. But it's like, Fly is slow. The problem with Fly is that it's slow. 90 base power is good, but it's slow. And also, you can get hit by certain moves. Strength is good, Stuff is good, Waterfall is good. So, out of all the HMs, there's really only 3 that you could say is straight up good that you would run on a competitive team.
Well, we're talking about in-game, not competitive, and Fly is pretty decent in that regard.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I'm being a bit too critical on that end. But yeah.
Field
Anyways.
is an interesting bit of resource management, and I think Pokemon removing it just because some Poketubers complained that they couldn't be 100% optimized in this children's game was a bad move. As I mentioned before, I think my generation's refusal to think and adapt to roadblocks is part of why the Pokemon games turned into such a boring snorefest. We did this to our—
Hold on, wait a minute. You know better. She wouldn't say my generation adapting to roadblocks. You know better. And this will be seen later.
Yeah, like, you have been so adaptable throughout this whole retrospective, definitely.
Hold on. Because, like, how many times did she complain when battle did not go her way and then just hated it because of that?
Honestly. Arriving in Celestic Town, a galactic grunt is blocking the entrance to a shrine, so I bully him and make him leave. Inside is a mural of the 3 lake spirits, and Cyrus bursts in and says he wants to put an end to pointless strife and conflict in the world. What pointless strife and conflict? This is a socialist paradise. What are you talking about? You're the only one causing any conflict. You set off a bomb, for crying out loud. You know, our—
Hold on, no. In Gen 1, in Gen 1, there was a theory going around about a war, and that's why you don't really see that many. Well, you see quite a bit of male characters, but there's the reason why you don't have your father, because your father went off to fight in a war. Wars still happen. Conflicts still happen. There was still Team Rocket.
Yeah, I mean, even if we don't see any major war or other such conflicts, there's always going to be conflicts that happen. It's just a video game can't always express every little thing that happens in a functional world.
And hell, well, this is later games, but like a lot of the later evil organizations, quote unquote, the evil teams, quote unquote, are just outcasts that are causing trouble. There's still officers. There's still conflicts. There's still problems. We don't know the politics of the world because we're 10. We don't need to know the politics of the world.
Pretty much, yeah.
She and Max were like charmingly stupid, but you're just completely out of your mind. I beat the crap out of them, but the Elder already gave him all the information he needed, so he took off to go capture the lake spirits. I'm gonna have to go after him, aren't I? So I head to Canalave City, where I'm immediately beset upon by Chat, who demands yet another battle. I'm really starting to get sick of this kid, you know? After that, I headed to the gym. It's a Steel-type gym, whose puzzle is based entirely around guessing which elevator lets you progress. I'm guessing the dev who designed the Hearthhome City gym was homesick that day, and the job of making this gym fell to the guy who writes the dialogue. The leader is Byron, who is apparently—
It's a maze! An interesting 3D maze! You go different elevations!
Yeah, it's understanding 3D space enough to navigate a maze. That's not nothing.
And one of the first times it happened on the DS.
True.
Like, this was innovative back then. Which, probably making me sound like a boomer. But fuck you kids, you don't know what it was like playing on a GBA.
Yeah. Gen 3, lamentably, could never do this kind of thing. This is a pretty advanced.
Yeah.
Rourke's father. You know, there's a joke in here about steel being a more refined rock. Anyway, his Magneton and Steelix went down with one flamethrower each from Houndoom. Oh, who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Bastiodon took a little more teamwork from Lopunny, Houndoom, Crobat, and G to take down, but we got there in the end. Once I get outside, I'm harassed by Chat again, demanding I come to the library. I swear, if you demand another battle, I'm going to stab you. So I joined Chat, Lucas, and Rowan in the library, where Rowan is giving us a lecture on Pokemon evolution. He decides we should—
And also that people used to date Pokemon way back. My voice.
Yeah, it's such a... I don't want to get too lost in a tangent, but it almost kind of feels like inevitable.
Yeah. I mean, this should be Lily's favorite gen. This is where they learned that people used to date Pokemon way back when. I'm also just rewinding a bit, because that... So, I just wanted to make that slight joke.
Yeah.
Pokemon evolution. He decides we should split up to go to the 3 lakes, and right on cue, there's another explosion. We turn to the news to hear Team Galactic has set off a bomb at one of the lakes. Naturally, since it's an active site of an attack, we decide not to go to the lakes and wait for the situation to be all clear before— So I arrive at Lake Valor to find that it's been drained by Team Galactic's bomb, and there are Magikarp flopping around, and they say they're heading to Lake Verity next. Well, that's fine. Lucas is already on his way there, so I arrive at Lake Verity to find that Lucas is being bullied by Galactic members, so I have to do fucking everything around here, apparently. Alright, that's 2 out of 3 lakes cleared. Where's the third? It's on top of a mountain, Lily. Fuck. The route to Snow Point City leads through Mount Coronet and up a snowy mountain path filled with trainers and environment hazards. It's not bad, it's the first snowy environment in these games, but they just had to go and mess up the ambience by adding deep snow to impede you at every possible point in the journey, and it's crawling with trainers who keep getting crits way more often than they should be, I fucking swear. It's worth pointing out that in Platinum...
Okay, hold on. You can't blame the crits.
Crits are a matter of luck, and I mean, unless somehow your engine is fucked, then that's not... Like, you would have crit issues consistently. That's not going to happen just because you're in a snowy area. And as for the snow, that's immersive. The snow is big and deep, and you know what happens in snow that's big and deep? It's not solid footing. You're going to sink into it.
Also, you're in an active blizzard!
Oh yeah, that too.
Also, one thing I will say is that if I recall, during the DS era, at least in Pearl and Platinum, but Diamond and Pearl, I don't know if it's in Platinum, this area did kill the frame rate quite a bit.
Yeah. I forget if that happens or not.
If I recall correctly, I believe it does, and yeah. Well, one good thing about that emulator patch that Lily did is probably did fix that.
The female character model is wearing a winter coat but no pants, and I'm walking through waist-high snow in a blizzard. So that was certainly a decision we made.
I've got frostbite on my... Somewhere you really don't want to get frostbite.
I found a house in the middle of the blizzard where a guy...
Okay, the theming of the Sinnoh trainers is something far more northern. It's not exactly built for a blizzard, but it does visually imply that the entire region of Sinnoh is more of a colder northern region.
Interesting.
That's at least what I got from it. It always felt like the reason they're dressed up in more warm clothing, though not perfectly snow-built clothing, is because it's cold up here.
So kind of like a New York situation.
Yeah.
New York that decided to go to Canada.
Yeah.
Complaining that he's trapped here because he dropped his HM for rock climb. Luckily, I found it just ahead. When I went back to return it, however, he said I could just keep it. Sir, don't you need this to get out of the snow? What? Nah, forget about it. I reached the mountain to the lake, and Chad is at the top mocking me for being slow and being unable to climb rocks, and then rushes off to go take on Galactic alone. Wait, Chad, no, don't! You're a complete fuck-up at everything you do! Fine, I gotta go get my rock climbing license, I guess. Fucking Vogon, seriously. Snow Point City Gym is just like the Mahogany Town Gym, where you have to slide into obstacles to navigate your way to the leader. It's alright, Discourage is running back to the Pokemon Center, so it's okay by me. Candace starts with a Sneasel, who dies to a single flamethrower. Then Piloswine, who proved to be a lot more hardy than I thought he'd be, and knocked out 3 of my Pokemon before G finally put him in the dirt. I sent G back out against Frostlass, and when she started spamming Double Team, I was like, alright, fine, let me spam Calm Mind, make myself a beast and a tank, and then I'll just sit here praying for a lucky hit. Once I got there, I started trying to hit with Psychic, but it, wasn't going well. But then something occurred to me. Wait a minute. I have Shockwave, which never misses, and hits for neutral damage.
What?
I have like 5 special attack boosts. What the fuck am I doing? One Shockwave and she went down, and one Psychic took out Abomasnow. Can't believe that slipped my mind, honestly. I just got done talking about how the fog wasn't a problem, and then I forget about why it wasn't a problem when I need it the most. I swear, something's wrong with me. Once I had the badge, I can go after Chat, who it turned out got beaten like the little baby bitch he is. Hey, maybe next time you'll throw down a rope. Like, this guy taunts you for not being able to climb rocks, necessitating a detour, and now he's completely failed at what he came here to do. Like, honestly, Chat, you deserve this. At the Galactic HQ, I found one of the grunts I defeated earlier in the game. I bet you don't remember me. You're all white people with the same bowl cut. Of course I don't remember you. Anyway, this grunt is grounded for losing, and he throws a tantrum, mentions a storage key, and then runs off. Then Looker, oh god damn it. Looker shows up and says he has the key, and we can go attack the warehouse. Okay, if you shoot anyone, I'm gonna have G powderize your bones. So we break in without a warrant and look around, and I find the key to the Galactic base. Great, I can use this to raid the Galactic HQ. What are you looking at me like that for? I'm not a cop. It's not unethical for me to go rampaging around like a lunatic. I fought my way through the headquarters until I reached the main chain.
Okay. What? Can I just say Lily is a very, very hateful person?
Like, what even is the plot here? Do you, like, I hate cops, but actually, if I do the immoral cop thing, I'm not a cop, woo.
Well, see, it's wrong when cops do it, but I'm an amoral person, therefore it's fine for me to do it. That's basically what she said!
Yeah.
Where Cyrus is
Again, Lily is not a good person. I don't know how many times I can say this.
Unethical for me to go rampaging around like a lunatic. I fought my way through the headquarters until I reached the main chamber where Cyrus is giving a speech to his grunts. Is this a cult? It feels like a cult. But wait.
Yes! Here's the thing. You can pretty much say all of these teams besides like Team Rocket is a cult.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually,
Like-
I would say maybe not Team Skull, but that's getting pedantic.
Yeah, well, Team Skull. Okay. From the GBA to the DS era, the cults. Including Team Flame. Team Flare, whatever the fuck.
Doesn't work because cult leaders have to be the kind of charismatic person that dumb sheep want to follow in the first place. And Cyrus has no personality, no motivations. We don't even know what he's doing. Quite the performance.
We know what he's doing. We know what his motivations are, and you don't have to be okay. Cult leaders are not just one thing. They're not like super bright and happy that can get along with everyone. No, charisma does not work like that way. Charisma comes in many different forms, and it doesn't matter as long as it can get people to follow you. What Cyrus wants is a new world, a perfect world where there's no suffering. Many people want the same thing. Many people would want that.
Yep.
And we know what Cyrus wants to do. We know what his motivations are. He wants to go get the Link Trio to make the Red Chain so he can capture fucking gods and remake the world.
We know
Sorry, go ahead.
We know historically that big, fat, whiny complainers are in fact very charismatic people when they want, not even when they want to be. They just start ranting about shit, and people are like, hell yeah.
Exactly.
Not always American people. I'm talking about, Hitler of Germany.
Let's not bring that one up.
Yeah, but still, even beyond that, a lot of major charismatic quote-unquote leaders were really just whiners who was like, I want big change, and I want it because it makes me unhappy.
Because one of the key things for cults is unity, and people wanting the same change is a type of unity. Like, that's why Team Skull works, is because they're all dropouts from the Island Challenges. Island Trials, whatever the fuck. And they all banded together because they had no one else. Sorry.
No. Shut the fuck up, Looker. So I corner Cyrus in his brooding room and he confesses that Team Galactic are just pawns. You yourself must know that they are uniformly useless. Well, I mean, yeah, they are the bottom 10% of our graduating class. The problem is you think you're any more useful than they are. You want to create a new world only for yourself. How far have you shoved your head up your ass, Xehanort? He then challenges me to a fight. I win.
Keyblade.
Fuck you. That is not... Was they... Okay. I should not get on the Kingdom Hearts tangent. I'm just gonna go say what Xehanort wanted to do was balance light and dark. That's what he wanted to do using the Keyblade.
Natch, and he gives me a free Master Ball and runs off to Mount Coronet. So we're chasing Galactic through Mount Coronet, which is something of a maze that at the very least the game lets you handle yourself. Oh, come on, Looker! As you're nearing the last door before Spear Pillar, you come across this cracked piece of stone in front of a cave. Looker has to walk you through the basics of the fact that Team Galactic probably dug into a wall. Observe, if you will, that hole. There was once a cave painting that had blocked the way to the summit, but the wall, it is no longer there. It lies in pieces. Do you see?
Isn't Looker like somewhat based off of Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah, probably. And it's just the detective archetype in general inspired by Sherlock Holmes. And I just think it's so funny because he's so stupid.
Yeah. I don't mean to cut that midway through. That was just something that just popped out. I was like, he's speaking kind of like several portrayals of Sherlock Holmes, because Sherlock Holmes never gives a straight answer. He tries to get other people to deduce it with him. Well, I guess after him. And if they couldn't figure it out, then he explains everything. And with this type of, look, see this, we can conclude.
Since the 3 Pokemon of the lake had been captured, something terrible has happened. But what exactly? I do not know. There is but one cause, Team Galactic Cyrus. And now we are all caught up. Oh, really, Looker? Really? I'm not sure my tiny brain could have figured that one out. Oh, there's some stone cracked here in front of the tunnel. Maybe Team Galactic went that way. Oh, yeah, I wasn't sure. Thank God you were here to help, you useless fucking cop. In case you haven't...
He was there to remind you of the story, because who knows how long it's been since you last since Team Plasma got the fucking Lake Trio.
Also, doesn't this establish that he's a detective, not a cop, which is different?
Yes. Because that's the thing. Like, if I need to look it up. 1 second. I'm getting on a separate monitor for this one. Cause I'm just straight up looking up Looker. Who the fuck does Looker look for again? Okay, yeah, so he is an international police officer who travels around the world investigating various villainous teams. He was introduced in Pokemon Platinum as an international police officer investigating Team Galactic, and has appeared ever since. Okay, yeah, so what's your question?
Wait, I don't remember now.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Also, his Japanese name is Handsome. Looker, handsome.
He's just a himbo. Himbo detective, let's go.
Let's go! But yeah, no, he does work for the international police, so it's not even like he works for the cops. He works for the FBI!
Notice there's a ton more dialogue in this game. Cyrus alone has more than double the dialogue than Archie and Maxie did in their respective games, but it's also stilted and devoid of any real creativity. He's an evil guy. He does evil things. Evilly. Credit where it's due, Maxie and Archie at least had the charm of the fact that they thought they were going to better the world, but they're like fucking idiots. They were almost charmingly stupid in that regard, coupled with the fact that you just don't run into them that often, like maybe less than 6 times before the finale, and after that they're like, oh, hang on. I think we might be stupid. And that's coupled by the intense weather that affects the entire map along with the tense music that accompanies it. They fucked up massively, and if we don't fix it, we're screwed. And that's more compelling than Cyrus's nihilism. Aqua and Magma are like, if we don't stop these two idiots, they're gonna kill us all. They're the only non-Rocket villain teams that work. As much as people complain about Team Rocket being...
I disagree, but that's because Team Skull and Onwards aren't evil organizations?
Hey, so... Team Magma and Team Aqua are a demonstration of what happens when the plan doesn't work. That they sort of bumbled their way through it and such. What happens if the villain does get his way? What do you gotta do then? That's what we answer in Diamond Pearl Platinum. He gets his way. He summons a time god, a space god, or antimatter himself. And now you, by some miracle, are powerful enough to stop that legendary Pokemon. Again, it's compelling in the sense that you have to actually fight a legitimate universal threat.
Yeah.
Also, the atmosphere, the weather, the not fully animated, what am I saying? But the animated sort of indie area cutscene of him summoning whatever he summons, either the space and time gods or the actual better animated summoning Giratina. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, and we're gonna hopefully see it. I don't know if she will show it or not, but we'll see.
For the sake of evil, I mean, that was never actually true. Team Rocket is a gang. They want to exploit Pokemon for financial gain. Instantly, that is a more real antagonist than Cyrus with his delusions of grandeur. People who want easy and quick money, or if we're being honest, are desperate because of late-stage capitalism, will turn to crime. People who think society has become so degenerate it needs a cleansing go on YouTube and rant about SJWs and woke scolds. A more real version of Cyrus would be on TV, blaming all of society's problems on, I don't know, the Jirachians? No, the Muse. People this nihilistic and delusional just don't have the drive or charisma to run a cult and convince people to bomb a city. He's kind of like the...
That's
no,
not...
we've seen that sorry. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but we've seen historically that yes, some of them can do exactly that. Some of them have gone as far as leading countries.
Not to mention, look at any fucking death cult.
That too.
No, it's not that they don't have drive. Because here's the thing, drive doesn't even fucking matter in this one. If you're a person, you can have drive. Nihilism is not no drive. A nihilism is a specific framework. It is a specific thought process that can.
Is your brain braining?
No, but no. The point is, there has been cult people like Cyrus before. There's going to be cult people like Cyrus after.
Yep.
Jailer. He has the charisma of a pile of wet sand, and yet we're expected to believe he's manipulated and gaslit people much smarter and more charismatic than him. Oh, he's a...
Wow, okay, one, wow fucking sucks, Kizzo. Can we stop that? Can we just stop that? And two, charisma does not have much to do with manipulation. Well, that's not true. Being charismatic definitely does help with it, but that's not it. You could prey on someone's fears. You could coerce them into doing something. There's other ways that you could get people to do something that's not straight up being, ha ha ha, look at me, I'm so beautiful and handsome and have the confidence to sway anyone. That's not how this works.
Mm-hmm.
Charismatic leader. Bitch, no he isn't. He's an ugly-ass miserable nihilist sulking because the world has some vague wrongness to it. And people say he's the best villain in the series. Like, what is this? The fucking sequel trilogy? What are y'all salivating over? At least Thanos had the resource shortage to pretend to care about and make his megalomaniacal narcissism almost pitiful and make us want to kick his ass. Cyrus? I just want him to shut up. Stay in the distortion world and rot, you fucking jackass. Oh yeah, the distortion world is terrible. People complain about having to...
Okay, so you just straight up skipped the cutscene.
What? Oh, yeah, that. Wow, fuck you.
Because,
you know, for someone who is so allergic to reading, you think she would be interested in the animated cutscene.
No, because it's Gen 4 and she hates Gen 4, so why would she care?
Yeah. Anyways, I know it's already been kind of stated, but allergic to reading means that it's not really you're not really able to have a conducive opinion as to whether somebody's good if you're constantly skipping over their story.
Also, honestly, part of the reason why I'm pissed off is because Shaw believes that the goal was to summon Giratina. I still believe that Giratina was an accident, being pulled out from its hold because Palkia and Dialga both appear. Because Cyrus turned to look at Giratina in shock. Like, wait, what the fuck? You weren't part of the plan?
True, I have not played Platinum nearly enough or just studied the ending, like, at all. So, honestly, I thought the idea was he summons Giratina because that's the end result. I have not seen the cutscene enough to say.
Okay, well, we can look at it later. Because, yeah, no, as you can see in that cutscene, he was summoning both Dialga and Palkia. Giratina wasn't even around yet.
Yeah, no, we don't need to study it. Just saying, it's like, I don't have enough experience to say enough myself.
Yep.
Use a few HMs to explore and how Victory Road is played out, but celebrate this. This whole dungeon is a frame rate nightmare. It performs like ass, except in a few areas, and it wants you running all over Hell's Half Acre to push a few rocks and sliding platforms, and oh, fuck. I am so goddamn bored. Then you have a battle with Giratina and leave.
You just jumped! Yeah. You get to walk on the walls! Yes, it's a frame rate issue, but that's because it's pushing the limits! This is what gaming's about!
Literally the coolest thing ever. Yeah, this fucking sucks, actually.
Literally.
I'm so glad we shared this adventure, Cynthia. Now please stay 95 million miles away from me. Rest of the game isn't worth talking about in too much detail. The story's over, but you still have a badge, Victory Road, and the Elite Four to get through. Almost feels like a formality after all of that. Like, you want to prove my worth? I was in another dimension just a few hours ago. I fought a god of antimatter. Then you get to the Elite Four and oh my fucking god, chat. You go through the Elite Four, which is the same it's always been. The only thing worth talking about is Cynthia, because Cynthia and her Garchomp are the most overhyped boss in the series. When I was going through the earlier gens and talking about how, like, Whitney wasn't a real problem, people were like, oh, wait until you see Garchomp. Wait until you get there. It'll crush your dreams and give you PTSD. So, about that.
How the fuck?
We covered this in an earlier video using Reflect and Calm Mind a bunch. But Reflect to take down physical damage.
Oh,
Calm Mind to
no,
get special attack
split.
up.
Special split. Calm Mind would not have done anything for Dragon Rush.
No, it was raising special attacks so that when she uses Psychic...
Oh, okay.
When she uses Psychic... Yeah, that.
Yeah, here's the thing about memed on trainers. The solution to Whitney and Cynthia is use defense. Like any of it. I think Cynthia is the fault of people just not growing up. When we were kids, same type moves and maybe weaknesses were all we would do. We would spam Earthquake for days, and as we got older, we didn't stop doing that. People would take—
Hell, spamming Earthquake is still great.
Okay, yeah, that, but... No, Garchomp, sorry, I'm trying to remember the name properly. Garchomp is still a beast. We are talking that if you technically maxed out its speed, it's 333.
Yep.
Now, she's obviously not maxed out the stat, mind you, but to demonstrate just how fast this otherwise tough shark is, it's fast, it's hard-hitting, its defenses remain solid regardless, and Rough Skin punishes any physical offense.
Oh, if I recall, no, that's what I'm thinking of. But yeah.
To give you an idea of how doomed it is, Garchomp has remained meta-relevant for years. I don't know how much it holds up in the current meta because of power creep, but for a long time, Garchomp was a common threat that everyone had to deal with.
Oh, so I want to say this while we are doing this, I'm trying to buy Pokemon Nights at inventory, and it's not letting me. Too many people I'm trying to buy it from Steam already.
I don't know what that is, but I can ask later.
Yeah, sorry. I just find that funny. But yeah, no, I honestly, I forget how far Reflect can go. But at the same time,
Reflect is a...
Go ahead.
What do you mean by how far it can go?
Like, reduced damage-wise.
It is a singular status. You cannot stack it. For 5 turns, you get the ability to reduce damage by half.
Yeah, I just forget how useful that is most of what I'm trying to say.
I do too, and I think a lot of people do. It's very out of the way, and trying to trust that taking half damage from things isn't always going to click for people. It technically is having a type resistance to whatever physical damage is taken, but it's hard to visualize that because we don't always think of resisting damage as half. We think of it as what the game tries to tell you, which is don't do it.
Yep.
their starter into Cynthia and try and brute force it like they always do, and what a shock, it doesn't work, because when your
Holy shit, and that was a crit, but I still did half.
Scary.
opponent has
That's also kind of
this,
baffling, because this is Rose Raid. Rose Raid is... okay, so Rose Raid has a high special attack, high speed, but still doesn't have lacking special defense.
And versus a Milotic. Milotic has decent, and it hit with soft, I believe, since it was resisted.
Yeah. Yep.
If it was Ice Beam, it would just be dead.
Interesting. Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, so it's Dragon Rush and not Outrage. Outrage might have killed if it had that.
It would have done more damage, but I don't think it would have made enough damage. Dragon Rush is 100 base power. Outrage is 120 base power. It's not that big a difference.
Okay. Oh, so, Holy Special. Cynthia, you might need to redo your team a bit. You have 4 special attackers, 1 mix, like I said, technically 2 mix, but Garchomp's more physical focus. You have like the Wally problem here, where it's just all special.
She is not supposed to be super competitively viable. She's just using very reliable Pokemon.
Unless you're playing Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl and then all these EVs are maxed out.
Oh yeah, then all bets are off. That's an entirely different game at this rate.
Yeah.
It's pretty much designed so that you can't just blitz through it. Her first Pokemon is one without any weaknesses, guys, come on, and her ace is fast and hits like a semi-truck. The counter to a sweeper is bulk. So I came in with Reflect and set it up on Milotic, and then Garchomp couldn't touch me. That's the thing about Garchomp. If it doesn't one-hit kill you, it's dead. Flat out dead. Its defenses are not that great, and combined its middling special defense with a Pokemon with high special attack, it's just dead. These trainers aren't even asking much of you. You can sweep Cynthia with Reflect and like 1 or 2 Calm Minds if you're not confident. Spiritomb was a bigger threat than Garchomp because it was immune to both Psychic and Focus Blast, which were the only attacking moves G had. The rest fell like dominoes because just a little bit of setup pushes the damn game over. I saw people planning for BDSP like, okay, I'll need a Weavile to outspeed and quad weakness it. And by the way, in the remakes, Garchomp has the Ice Nullifying Berry, so good luck with that. When it's so much easier than that. Reflect and literally—
Oh, so higher level. That's 66 with Swords Dance.
I'll actually give one counter argument.
Go ahead.
Reflect requires a bit of timing, since again you only get 5 turns of it. 1 turn is wasted on the turn you used it. So you technically really only get 4 effective turns. It's still effective, and it's still 4 turns, but if you don't time things properly, it's gonna go badly.
You know what would be hilarious?
What?
If champions had a Pokemon that knew Brick Break and always sent it out right before the ace just to destroy the screens.
That would be diabolical.
Like, honestly, I kind of want to see that happen. That sounds hilarious. Like, oh, you're trying to bury my sweeper? Fuck you!
Nullifying Berry, so good luck with that. When it's so much easier than that. Reflect, and literally any special attack boost will do. Hell, just rock up with a fucking Focus Sash or something. There's so many ways around it that turns this fight into
Whoa,
mulch
no,
that
hold on.
requires
Whoa. You don't just casually get a Focus Sash. That is from the battle, whatever that is in this game, and that's usually after the champion.
Yeah.
You don't just casually grab that.
Yeah.
Sorry, the reason I don't usually bother with battle items in game is because you usually have to put in like an hour or 2 of consistent grinding in the battle network just to get battle points for 1 item, in which sashes are consumable.
I would also like to say, wait, Sash is consumable?
I haven't practiced if they refresh it or not in games, and I forget how that works per generation. Yes.
If I recall, that was actually enough that got added recently. Because
You may be mixing up with Focus Band, which is the version that has a 10% chance to proc, but doesn't get consumed because it's an item. But Focus Sash is designed to be consumed upon use, so that you can only take one hit KO move, and that's it.
Oh yeah, it does. I guess I'm just so used to like competitive where you get your items back.
Yeah, after battle, but again, that depends on how the generation behaves. Some games actually do give any of your consumables back after battle, but not all of them. And usually, it's really just complicated. It's hard to keep track of.
Also, I will say this, Focus Session will probably not even save you, considering, okay, if you did not manage to kill the Garchomp, because let's say you were not able to set up, because this really only works because Cynthia is special focus. If they sent out their Lucario on G, it probably would have been a different story.
Yeah, what Pokemon does she even open with to get the kind of, like, setup time? That's kind of ridiculous. Like,
she did it on Milotech. She did it on Milotech.
Oh.
Because, yeah, no. Because if it was Lucario, then, like, yeah, no, G would have been in lower health, and Garchomp probably would have killed. And also, Garchomp will be faster than you, so even with a Focus Sash, unless you can one-shot it, prepare to die.
Yeah.
remembering that neutral damage exists. I've seen so many Poketubers discount Pokemon in the early gens because they don't have stab moves. Need I remind you, I swept 2 of the Kanto Elite Four with the weakest fully evolved Pokemon in the game.
Perhaps you want to stop acting like wild dogs chasing their tails and think for a moment.
Generation 4 isn't...
Sorry, I know we're getting a little lost in a tangent, but the game's kind of conditioning you to think the way of super effective and stab. Like, that's the major gimmicks that can give you more power. Unless you want to start doing the calculation math to know ahead of time how much power you have without these things to boost your power, you usually want to rely on the things that boost your power.
Not to mention, also, again, identical moves. Those with stab are just going to hit harder, because stab exists. If I have to choose between tackle or peck when I on my Pidgey, I probably would choose peck most of the time. Well, in that case, it would be due to it actually having effectiveness. But if it was like Talonflame, where it is fire and flying, and I had to choose between peck and tackle for some reason, I would always choose peck because peck just straight up has the higher base power in this case due to stab.
Yep, P.E.K.K.A 30 base power, half 30 is 15. So actually, wait, no, it might be 45, but we also have better type advantage. 1 sec.
I thought peck was 40.
No.
Goddamn. My memory is shit.
Hi, I'm resident, what's it called, Decidueye hater. I know a lot about Peck and Astonish.
Oh god, Astonish.
Yep, 45 base power. It's technically underpowered compared to Tackle, but we'll have way better type interaction.
And of course, stab.
Well, no, I'm saying that 45 base power is after stab.
Oh, after stab, okay.
So
yeah.
the best you can do is 45 base power, but even then, having the ability to hit bug, fighting, at least,
Grass.
I'm blanking on the other. Grass, thank you.
It is
Yeah,
also
those
super
type
effective.
advantages do matter, because those also, by the way, double damage. So yeah, that's why neutral damage can work. I am a normal type believer, but it is a numbers game where type advantage ignores that entirely and throws damage into ridiculous degrees. People throw an ice type at Garchomp because even a 40 base power ice shard is going to utterly fold him.
Also, I will say this, I feel like normal is just getting nerfed to hell. I feel like normal is becoming the next psychic.
Oh yeah, they've absolutely gutted it since moved exit. That's undeniable, but that's them being stupid, and we need to just gut Pokemon Company.
Terrible, but it's not as good as Generation 3. The issues that have been creeping in since Crystal have metastasized into a game that does not believe you can go 5 seconds without being supervised. It has fully gotten away from what makes Pokemon fun, the adventure. Instead, you're being forced onto a path by a story, and I wouldn't object to that if the story was good, or at the very least, sparse. But all that's really changed is the sheer amount of dialogue. Characters talk way too much, and they say way too little. The dialogue is in desperate need of an editor or someone who knows what the hell they're doing. And the thing is, the dialogue is pretty much the only problem with these games from this point onward. Like, the gameplay is competently made and you can fix the performance issues easily, but there's no fixing the dialogue without tediously going through every text box and manually editing it, which takes time and skill a lot of people don't have. And all the good post-game features, and Gen 4 and 5 have a very robust post-game, is all held hostage by the story. You have to endure this part, and you shouldn't have to. The main game shouldn't have to be this burden you have to endure to get to the things that are fun.
But it's not though! Stop being an evil organization has always been part of the fun!
Okay, sorry. If you're somebody who can actually enjoy story, something we were trying to cover, and we did technically avoid going for analyzing Professor Rowan's dialogue, but both those cases of them seemingly waffling about with dialogue are also amazing characterizations in turn. Looker is going with the whole detective route. He's definitely monologuing onwards, but it's in this way that makes you want to think a bit more. Sure, you obviously know some of the answers, but it's also funny watching him struggle to get the answers. It's funny to watch him waffle about and struggle to grasp even basic concepts because, wouldn't you know it, it's funny to laugh at somebody who's incompetent. Rowan, it's kind of compelling because he's someone who's old and trying to demand respect and decency out of a bunch of teenagers. So, and I haven't looked into Cyrus enough, and I haven't played Platinum enough to actually grasp the upgrades to story it has made. But even so, him being a megalomaniacal, well, somewhat maniacal, he's kind of melodramatic, but he's still compelling because he's somebody who is daring enough to want to change the world. It's funny that she brought up Thanos because, wouldn't you know it, same bestie. They are literally in the same kind of goal of wanting to rewrite the world because something has wronged them deeply to their core. And guess what? That happens. We're supposed to resonate with the fact that he finds that this world has fallen apart, but not go to the same extremes that he does.
I had something I wanted to bring up, but I currently forget what it was.
Anyways, the game has absolutely improved on Generation 3 in all but maybe like the slightest of vibe, but again, that's more down to the art style of Generation 3 being a little more vibrant, a little more foresty and green. Whereas this focuses more on mountains, snow caps, cities, and just places that are, again, a little more sparse in verdant nature.
Yeah, because this
Just
is
a little, though.
Yeah, because Sinnoh is based off of like the northern part of Japan. I forget what that region is called, but like that's what it's based off of, is the northern ends. So that's why it's very snowy. That's why it's very
Mountainy.
like mountainy, yes. Because it's literally it's basically in the mountains. The continent is in the mountains. For the region.
Yep. Anyways, like, really the only non-improvements from Generation 4 are only because they had to hop to the DS and didn't know what they were doing. Everything else, however, is as good, if not better. Oh,
I remembered, in the Pokemon anime, I know this is a bit off topic, but when Cyrus did win and used the red chain to control Dialga and Palkia to create the universe, when Cyrus walked into that new universe, his well, not his grunts, his admins were screaming for him to come back right before Dialga and Palkia destroyed that universe!
Cyrus, no!
Yes, exactly! So it's like, he is charismatic because he does have people that actually care for him. You can say it's a fucking the anime continuity, whatever. It's based off of the games, so...
Yeah.
And it's like,
They definitely believed in... Sorry, go ahead.
This is what would have happened if Cyrus have won, by the way. It would have been a award just for him completely. And yeah.
Yeah. But as I was trying to say, he got people who believed in his dream, to believe that there should be a universe where we can make things better. That's not so crazy. What's crazy is the methodology and the fact that he wants it all to himself.
Yep, Cyrus is not a good guy. No. Also,
oh yes, we're coming up on my favorite generation. The best generation. The generation that has no... Okay, I can't say that. But trust me, we're going to get into some fun. So instead of that, let's see, is there anything else we should say about Generation 4? Because Generation 4 is a big one.
I think we mostly got it. Because whenever we find an issue, we really go into it, like, full force there. And it's not really, I can't really think of anything that we might have glossed over. It's like, we have to come back to this one.
Well, actually, so I kind of realized the issue myself. It's not that we glossed over anything, it's that since Lily is glossing over a lot of things, we can't just throw in other stuff to add about. I don't exactly remember everything, but again, this retrospective isn't helping me remember. It's skimming through Generation 4.
Yeah, no, like this is also the problem of it, because it's been so long since we played it, we can't fact check. We can't really fact check that effectively, because we can't just stop and then play the games. And it's like if we did that, it would be a fucking assignment. And we do this weekly, by the way. We're doing one gen per week if we have time for it. If we have more, we'll do another one, but it's basically like one gen per week. And because of that, it would essentially be, okay, what are we at? Gen 5? Okay, blast through black and white. Go, go, go!
Go. And some of them are able to be beaten in a week. I know X and Y definitely are, but it'd be like a consistent week when we have lives beyond that.
Yeah, no, it's just not feasible. Because I try to do that with Crystal. I try to play Crystal during my free time when I could, and I only got to the second gym. Well, past the second gym. I just got to Goldenrod City, and yeah, no, it's just not reasonable. Also, of course, obligation of, she also skipped the entirety of the post game, where you could catch the 3 legendary Pokemon, because yes, all 3 are catchable, and the battle facility, and a hidden route that you could go on, and the cottage that you could fight the gym leaders, and the upgraded Pokemon,
and the Pokemon contest.
And the Pokemon contest is just, God, Lily, you don't like the game, just admit it. But that'll be all for this.
The part where you go into the park and you can have a Pokemon follow you. which, yes, is completely neutered compared to actual Pokemon walking, but wouldn't you know it, it was because they were beta testing it for the remake. The remake I would love to talk about, but guess who isn't talking about it?
Yep, Hot Gold and Soul Silver. I can't wait to play those games. I'm actually excited for those.
Yeah,
But,
I should probably. I need to check what my saves are and see what I can do about that, because I should also play those again. But yeah, if the Diamond Pearl Platinum is great, Heart Gold Soul Silver is probably the best remake in the lineup, and that's with Oras in mind.
I am hesitant to say that, but that's because I have not played Hot Gold Soul Silver. I have no opinion of that game.
Well, firstly and foremostly, do you like Generation 2?
Before we, we're getting way off topic. That's gonna do it for this time.
Yeah, sorry.
This is Resonic the Hedgehog Gamer with,
Strab?
and we hope to see all you guys again next time.
Bye.